2 minutes until showtime.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
1 minute until showtime. Until showtime. Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's time for another Cooking Minute. Yes, we're talking turkey with Tony Bruno.
Hi, boys and girls. I'm Chef Tony, and today we'll pick out that perfect wine for your Thanksgiving feast. This is a 96 Merlot. Ah, beautiful. Now the 87 Cabernet. That's a little flinty. Here's a 92 White Zinfandel. Excuse me.
For more of Tony's great recipes, call his cooking hotline, 877-99 on Fox. Make sure to specify recipe number 2.
Next time, I'll show you how to...
This is the Tony Bruno Show.
On a cold November night in South Philadelphia, you are looking live. No tree lighting ceremony tonight here, but we are lit, as usual, live at Moonshine, Philadelphia. Jack in the back is totally lit already. Luigi Curto.
I'm woke.
He's woke, not lit yet.
Well, speaking of lit, here comes Jordan with the drinks. There you go,
exactly. Bro. Just in time. And we were just playing one of our Thanksgiving turkey tips. Of course, I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I'm so into Thanksgiving that you know what I ordered here at Moonshine tonight, Luigi?
What was that, Tony?
I had the turkey pot pie because I simply cannot get enough turkey. I had the turkey pot pie tonight, and it was phenomenal.
I saw it came with the buttery puff pastry on the top.
Yeah, it was a puff pastry turkey pot pie, not in an actual pie crust, but in a almost like a pie sandwich, but puff pastry on the bottom all the ooey gooey turkey and peas and all the other accoutrements.
Right.
And then a puff pastry on top. Bam! Polish that baby right off.
Nah, it was good, brother.
Man, it was good. I'm a turkey addict.
You are a turkey addict.
I'm going to find an injectable form of turkey in the near future. Instead of having like edible weed or edible marijuana, I'm going to go with injectable turkey.
Would you call yourself a tryptophan?
Oh! Let me give you one of these right away as I go to my next page here and give you one of my, if I could find a damn thing.
I'll do it myself.
No, but that was a good one.
Thank you. Would you say you're a tryptophan?
Fan? Yes. Let me hit it again.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, welcome aboard, everybody. We're here live at Moonshine Philly on a chilly Wednesday night. What Up Wednesday? You know what today is?
Wednesday.
It's National...
Oh, it's National French Toast Day.
National French Toast Day. And there was a debate today on social media, pancakes versus French toast.
You know what we say around here?
What do we say?
Let's get some fucking French toast.
Yeah. Pancakes are white people food, man. We're not basic bitches around here. We want French toast.
Listen, I don't mind pancakes.
No,
I mean,
neither do I. But the greatest delectable breakfast food is the challah French toast.
Challah.
Tell me seriously.
Tell me about
You
it.
can't just say
Challah French toast.
challah.
Robin
I'm too Italian to be Jewish. I'm sorry. All right.
Robin
No,
and
you
I,
have a lot in
we get
common.
challah French toast all the time at the
Yeah.
famous 4th Street Delicatessen.
God.
I get
It's
holler
so
that.
good.
I get holler that a lot.
It is the biggest French toast you'll ever see. It looks like a Kardashian ass comes out right on the table. Bam! And then just like a Kardashian ass, you just smother it with syrup.
Sure.
It is.
Are you visualizing that right about now?
It's good
Thank
stuff.
you. It is good stuff. Well, the challah French toast is.
Holla.
Although Kendall Jenner, is she at the at Wells Fargo Center tonight?
Oh, hell no. Not after that last game against Cleveland.
They ran her the hell out of here. Kendall Jenner was at the Sixer game against the Cleveland Cavaliers, the worst team in the NBA. She shows up, and what happens? The Sixers lose their first home game of the year after starting out 10-0, and they lose to the Cavaliers with the mush in the house, and of course she is Kendall Jenner. And you thought that was just a summer fling. You know that song, See You in September, by the, who the hell did that? The Fortunes? I'll see you in September,
Tony,
but lose
when are you
you.
going to learn? All these fringe music things that you have stuck in your head, don't even bother asking if Luigi and I know.
I know.
Nobody
It's-
but you knows these.
Well, I'm
Well,
sure.
there's the happenings.
The happenings, that's
and then
the one.
Frankie Valli did a cover for it. I'll give you a little of that. How about I give you a little of the happenings?
No, give me the happenings. This
That's
is
what
the
I'm
original.
I'm going with the original. You know us, Tony.
This
We're
starts
original.
with, I'll be alone each and every night. While you're away, don't forget to write. I thought that's what Ben Simmons said to Kendall Jenner in the summer.
What up?
There's something screwy around here.
Yes, there is.
I think all the men back then, all the singers, they wore tighty-whities. Really, really,
No, they
really
wore the suit and tie,
tighty-whities.
and then
Suit
they
and
would
tie,
They would
classic.
do this with their hands. They would
Yep.
like snap their fingers.
I was talking about the clothing they had on a little bit lower.
Oh, okay.
Hello?
Those guys weren't allowed to show from the waist down back in those days on
But
TV.
they were wearing really tight underwear because all of them go into falsetto voice.
Exactly. Well, Frankie Valli, maybe the greatest falsetto of all time.
No doubt about it.
Am I right?
You ain't wrong.
Meanwhile, we got all kinds of stuff going on tonight. Steve Zabin is going to join us, the Zabe,
The Zabe.
from down in D.C., because we've got a developing situation in the National Football League. As we have 5 weeks to go in the National Football League season. 5 games. And for teams like the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins and the rest of the flotsam and jetsam of the NFC East, there's still life. Believe it or not, the New York Giants are still mathematically alive. That's how bad the NFC East is.
Or as you would like to say, it's time to get down to the...
Let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly what it is.
And Monday Night Football, which means you know what I'm going to do on Sunday?
Nothing.
I will be going out looking for a live tree. I'll be going to the
What?
mountains.
Really?
I think we need to make a road trip.
Yes.
Wait a
It's
minute.
time to make a road trip to the Poconos.
Are we going to fire up the family
The
Cherokee
family truckster?
from Family Dodge Jeep Chrysler?
Yeah, the one I'm paying for that did not get 1 cent.
Go ahead. What happened? Not
What?
getting 1 cent about what?
No, I mean, I pay for my cars.
But Luigi, you
I don't
need to
get
come
free
with
cars.
us. Can you come with us on
What
Sunday?
day is it? This Sunday?
It's
I'm
a
working
Sunday.
7 to 3. I've never cut down my own tree. Are you
I
gonna
know you need to come.
I wanted to invite. It's supposed to be 64 degrees on Sunday.
Dude.
That's what I saw.
No, I can't do that, man. I got to work. I got to work 7 to 3. But you guys are going to go away. You're leaving to go to California.
Well, but here's the bottom line.
So you're getting me a tree? Is that what you're saying?
I need to get a live tree. Robin did it for the first time last year.
I never did it before.
We went up to the Kalahari Resort up in the Poconos for the first time.
Is that the one with the Homemade Delicious you went up there? The indoor water park?
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
I've never been there.
It's an amazing complex. So we went up there last year and spent the night and did the rides the next day, all the water rides. It's amazing, this facility.
I want to go because I got a couple days off. So I think
got
I'm
to
gonna
go
take
up there. They actually have the prices go down in the wintertime.
Do
So
they
it's
go
a
down,
perfect
though?
time to go in. You can get a room and a whole night deal and then get tickets to the water park. They got all kinds of great stuff in there.
I want a weekend special.
Well, I can't hook you up on a weekend. You got to go during the week. Rates go up.
Monday through Thursday rate.
Monday through
Thursday rate.
They don't have any daytime rates though.
Exactly.
Because when you get a room there in the daytime, you're down in the water park. You're not up in your room. This ain't the Neshaminy Motor Lodge. You know what I'm saying?
Stinking Lincoln. Or the Hub Motel. Or for people that know the Alany area, the Patio Motel.
The patio.
That's
Any of those great
the
daytime
Patio
rates.
Motel.
Whatever it
About a
says.
half hour
Do
ride.
they have a vibrating bed and mirrors on the ceiling?
No, they don't have
That's
anything.
the
On, they
Poconos.
don't have any. They don't have anything on the ceiling. You don't want to sit on the bed. Trust me.
You're damn
it's bad.
right. If you bring in a black light in those places, basically everything glows.
Yes.
Everything glows in those rooms.
It's like the Twilight Zone. What are you talking about? Just imagine. It's like the CSI box set in one room. It's like the CSI Miami box set in one room. Every
Even
crime
CSI people don't go into those hotels.
No, hell no.
Usually if there's a crime committed in one of these motel places, they basically just gut the whole place.
That's it.
They just get the dead bodies out and then they just put a flamethrower in it and just gut the whole thing.
We have to check for semen. You might as well burn the thing down. Are you kidding me?
Oh, man.
It's $15 an hour. There's Howard Eskin on the TV right there.
Why?
He's a douche.
He's a real douche.
Oh, I think I have that.
Do we have it?
Do we have that? I think we do have
We
it.
love that's my favorite movie of all time.
Nacho Libre is an underrated comedy.
I agree.
It's fantastic.
Jack Black has done a lot of great movies. To me, his greatest role is Nacho Libre as the wrestler, involved with the nuns, and then he becomes a wrestler, and then he takes on the. But some of those lines in there are epic, including the one you just played. And my favorite one is
Real douche.
he's a real douche. And let's get down to the nitty-gritty.
One more time for those in the back.
Give me that one.
Let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
That's right. Let's get down to the business, yo.
Let's get down to the business, yo.
If you had to spell the way he pronounces gritty, there's several.
Gritty.
There might even be a W in there
That
somewhere.
gritty was great before the Flyers gritty became the only thing the franchise has to promote this season.
Maybe that was Gritty's genesis right there. Maybe that's where he came from.
You realize the Flyers are so messed up right now that when they brought out Gritty, their mascot, people mocked it.
He's the only thing that's worth going to see.
It's scary. Now all of a sudden Gritty's the most popular thing in the Flyers organization.
Isn't it ironic that
They fired Ron Hextall, their GM.
the GM was the last good goalie they had, and he still couldn't find one. Think about that.
Unbelievable, man.
Think about that, man. How's
now,
it feel?
Our good buddy Joe Corrado,
Yep.
who used to one time hang around on this program.
He did, but now he's hanging around the People's Republic of New Jersey. He's stuck there working.
I know you get stuck over there. They closed the bridges on Wednesday night, so he can't come over.
Yeah, smart.
But anyway, he had some. The Sixers the Flyers have fired the Zamboni driver. They fired their. He did a joke today about all the other people that they're firing in the organization. But Gritty is the only untouchable now. If you're a Flyer fan, he's the only reason you're going to go to games from now on, apparently. But anyway, enough about the NHL. Let's get down to the football business.
Has Gritty become that chick at like 4 a.m. that looks, you know what I mean? That looks like a 10 because it's that late at night because the team is so bad that this is the only thing worth looking at. It just looks better than what it really is.
Gritty's become popular. He's like a rock star in this town.
He's got personality.
He's so important. Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney has trotted him out tonight to City Hall for the official tree lighting ceremony.
Jesus.
You know, in other cities, they bring out Mariah Carey, and we bring out Gritty to light the Christmas tree at City Hall in Philadelphia.
It's the best we got. Dustin Dwyer says, yo, Tony and Robin, Sharon, and Percy. We know Percy area, too.
Love Percy.
Go Nof.
Used to go up there, go up to Rice's. You ever go up to Rice's?
By the way, we
The
want to
flea
thank
market?
all the wonderful people who share the show early and often because
it's like voting in Florida.
So a lot of people don't understand. Like the way if you hit the little share and share it to all your friends,
what happens?
It exponentially adds viewership, which helps us in the future being able to get sponsors and all that. So it really, 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 really makes a difference. Not just once, not just the first time you come and watch us, but every time, and remind all your friends to watch because you guys have no idea what a big difference it makes for the show.
And speaking of hockey and the show, I busted this out last week, and now I've worn it again.
What you
My
got?
official Town Hall Brewery Minneapolis hockey sweater that they presented me after doing our Super Bowl show. Back way back when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, which seems like 15 years ago now based on what's happening in the NFC East. But anyway, Steve Zabin's going to join us.
Yes.
We'll talk not just about the Eagles-Redskins Monday night game, which is why Sunday will be off, and while Luigi will be sitting at home following his fantasy team.
I'll be at work.
Robin and I will be crawling under assorted shrubs
No, I think
under
we
the bushes.
I think we need to wait for Luigi.
Well,
When are we gonna
you wait for me to have a day off. You'll be waiting forever.
He doesn't get a day off.
I don't have a day off.
We need to
What do you want me
arrange
to do?
something. I don't know what we have to do because he needs
Thursday
to be
might work.
He needs to be able to go with us, especially since we'll be leaving for Christmas and he'll be stuck staying behind with this tree.
Making sure he waters it.
Yeah.
Thursday might work.
So maybe if
What
he
Thursday?
if
Next
he-
Thursday?
No, yes. How about December 6th?
All right. It's a date that will live in infamy, but
Forever. Because one of us ain't coming back. That's it.
That's Pakishavond in the Netherlands.
What is it?
Pakishavond.
what is that?
It means gift night.
It is December 6th is?
Yeah, because December 5th and 6th
Is that
are
Sinterklaas?
Sinterklaas and Pakishavond is the
That's a very racist tradition, by the way, if I may say so for my Dutch friends
no,
out there.
it's
Yes,
not.
it is. Very
No.
racist.
No.
Luigi is Sinterklaas racist.
That's racist!
There you have it. It's official.
racist.
Sinterklaas,
No.
the Dutch celebration involving black-faced dudes.
But it's
I
just
want to go
because-
blackface so bad. I just want to do it so bad.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah, because a lot of my favorite actors are black, and I want to do blackface.
That's
Why?
racist, man. You can't do that. What's wrong with you?
That's racist!
Why? How is it racist? I'm just dressing up. It's Halloween-esque.
I can take you to one of my Dutch organizations and you can dress up as a Zwarte Piet and nobody will
Zwarte Piet.
blink.
What's a Schwarze Piet?
Zwarte Piet.
Schwarze Piet?
He's one of the
Zwarte
dudes
Piets.
that goes
Black
down the
Peter.
coal mine and comes down the chimney
I thought
and
he-
supposedly has coal dust on
Yeah.
him. But instead of having smudges of coal dust, which you remember Dick Van Dyke, what movie was that? Mary Poppins?
Which it should be, and they do. It's just lack of makeup knowledge.
I thought he
is
was
what
a
I'm
forward
saying.
for the Calgary Flames in '93.
No.
Schwarze Piet.
Remember Dick Van Dyke?
Yes.
Wasn't he a, what do you call it, a chimney sweep?
Black
Yes.
Pete.
And he would have dust, he would coal dust on him.
Right.
But the Zwarte Piets, who are the helpers of Sinterklaas in
Yes.
Holland, they're basically completely
Yeah. blackface. It's somehow-
Nobody gets blackface in a chimney. I worked in a
It's
chimney
soot.
at my mother's house. Remember when we had the soot
Yes,
falling?
yes.
And we weren't even completely black.
But we were dark, though.
We
And
were
that's
very
how
dark. We were
that's
dark.
how all the Zwarte Pieten should look. But somehow or another, there was a misinterpretation.
Racist.
Just-
See, if I go to Amsterdam and
So-
patronize the women of the night,
So here's
I
the
like
thing.
smoke weed,
I
copious
think
amounts
it's-
of weed.
It's the makeup artists that were racist, not the actual tradition. Because they're supposed to be chimney sweeps. And whoever did them, put their makeup on, really got it wrong. That's all I'm saying.
So December 6th is the Feast of St. Nick.
Right. That's
So
a-
what we'll do is we'll go to Nick's Roast Beef.
Yes.
Get some roast beef
the
sandwiches.
original Knicks at
Right.
20th and Wolf,
And then
not the other ones. They're all fake.
No. Remember when you go, don't go to Ray. You gotta go to original Ray's. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's the line from Elf, of
Right.
course, where you go to Ray's Pizza, the original one on such at 47th Street. You don't go to the other ones; they're all knockoffs. Same thing with Nick's Roast Beef. The original's at 20th and Wolf, or 20th and Jackson.
And they just modernized it a little bit for the first
Yeah,
time in
that's what we'll do. We'll
forever.
go there and
They'd
then
actually
we'll,
slap some paint on that joint and jack the prices up on everything. That's what
we'll
you do.
We'll go to Nick's Roast Beef. We'll get some roast beef sandwiches for the ride.
Yeah.
We'll take the ride out. How far is this Kalahari thing?
It's up the mountains. See,
Up
the
the
thing I
mount-
worry about is you got to go early to get the best trees because they only cut down a certain amount every year.
They have a lot of trees though, Tony. It's a
Yeah,
forest.
but no, but they only open sections each year. So each year a different section opens so the trees can grow.
And people go up early.
They go up on Thanksgiving Day, the next day.
And then they tag them, so they might not actually cut them down right away, but they'll go up early, tag which tree they want, so it's already sold ahead of time.
So you never move the tag?
No,
Rob, I don't know where you come from, but I get you.
That's what's wrong with bringing South. Maybe we shouldn't bring him. That's a South Philly thing. You don't do that.
You want the tree? You want the tree or not? I'm kidding. No, all right, so it's like a 2-hour ride up to the mountains.
Yeah.
And then a 2-hour ride back.
You find a tree right away, but then you see, oh, wait a minute, I think there's another nicer one over there.
Especially if you bring Miss Robin.
Oh, this is going to be a freaking mess.
And then what happens is you pick a tree right away and you say, oh, look at that tree, it's perfect.
And then you were like, wait.
Let me go over here in this row and see if there's anyone better. And then Robin yells, yeah, and this is Robin the first time I used to do this all the time with my kids. We'd always go get live trees because we lived up in Montgomery County and it was only an hour ride to go find trees. And then I got a fake tree in L.A. because everything's fake in L.A.
Look, I'm from North.
So why would I have a fake tree?
I'm from the Northeast. The only trees I know are Timberlands. That's all I know.
Exactly.
I hear fresh trees. Somebody got a new pair of Timbs.
The only fresh trees in your neighborhood now are the ganja trees.
By the way, we just got invited
smoking them.
by Michael Steven. His parents have a place near the Kalahari Resort, Lake Harmony.
Yes.
He says free lodging and Wi-Fi if we ever want to go up there.
Oh, what about trees?
I'm done. Call it a day.
Lake Harmony is
Call
beautiful.
us, too. 619-924-9874. 619-924-9874.
If you'd like us to come up to your tree farm and hack those babies down.
And it's I thought that, you brought an axe.
No, you don't bring nothing.
You don't bring an axe.
What do you
Don't
bring?
axe you nothing. You just go under there. They give you one of those.
Oh, wait. So they give you the saw?
Yeah. You get a bow saw, and then you bring out
Not
your
Joey
little
bow saw.
cart. You have a cart with 2 wheels on it, and then you go out. You bring this up.
This is
and
manual labor.
It's fun though. And
I
you go
was
way
totally
up in the hills.
disillusioned.
You
I
got
thought
to
it
walk
was-
like a half a mile to get to the trees. Then you put your little cart down, and you walk around with your saw. And then you climb under the tree, and you get as low as you can, and you cut it right at the base. And then, bam! You put it on your cart, you wheel it down, and then they put it through this machine that wraps it up, and you put it right on top of your car, and boom, you look like a typical cracker driving home from the mountains with a live Christmas tree, baby. Although, people of all races get Christmas trees. It's not just a white person thing.
Little full. A lot of sap. A lot of sap in these trees.
Not Warren Sapp. He's not up there.
No, not Bob Sapp.
No. Meanwhile, Steve Zabin will join us. You know who else is going to join us tonight on the program?
Who?
The Pony.
That's right.
Craig James will be talking Houston Texans football.
Haven't seen Craig James since the Final Four in Houston when Villanova won it all.
And you were completely besotted beyond human recognition.
Yes, I was.
When you had to be scraped off the sidewalks of Houston, Texas.
Something had to be scraped off the sidewalks, but it wasn't by us.
I was a legend that night, Tony. You know it.
You were a national disgrace, a national outrage.
That's okay.
If I do say, and I'm proud of you for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
You earned that right there. You don't just pretend that happens.
It happens.
You earned that.
Like I said, I was fine. I was fine until Robert Horry said, take a sip of this, and it wasn't from the bar. All right,
Robert, Big Game James. No, Big Game Bob.
Big Shot Bob.
Big Shot Bob. I still remember the now departed Bob Covington. Now, of course, helping the Minnesota Timberwolves win 6 of their last 8 games since the Sixers unloaded him and Dario Saric.
One of the hottest teams in basketball, and that's why we're talking to Craig James, because the Houston Texans, where he's at down there in Houston, are one of the hottest teams in football right now that no one is really talking about.
You're absolutely right. That's why we'll talk about it. Plus, we'll have a Dallas Cowboy fan update tonight, and also a Tennessee Titans update.
We got an update from the Titans?
And then we have a woman in Florida update. There's always a Florida. In fact, there were so many Florida updates.
What kind of an update is there? A woman
week.
in Florida? There's plenty of women in Florida.
No, but this is a special woman in Florida.
No problem.
Well, and I had so many to choose from. It was hard.
I know.
It was a hard choice today.
If we wanted to just do updates tonight, we could just do the whole 2 hours.
On Florida alone.
Of all the crazy crap that happened in the last week in the world. I mean, you don't even have to look. It finds you. These stories come out and scream at me during the day. I'll be in the kitchen putting, the finishing touches on our kitchen project. And all of a sudden, I'll hear something screaming from the computer upstairs. Up, and there it is.
By the way, speaking about the kitchen project, the house is clean.
Yes, it is.
The house is clean. You can see the floor in the house.
Not just the kitchen.
The base, the cellar.
Yes, the basement is clean. The couch is clear.
As we say in Italian,
the
abasciusella.
The only place where you cannot see the floor?
Where?
There's only one room in the house.
Oh, in Luigi's bedroom, which looks like a dorm room.
Literal dumpster fire.
Yeah, it is a dumpster fire.
Because I never even get through.
Oh, no.
You know what's funny is that the moment I got in there, I never even really got. I just threw stuff in the closet. Never really got settled. I didn't have a chance. You know me. I'm in and out of work so damn much. What do you want me to do?
Just think of a freshman in a college dorm, and you go in and there's like mismatched sneakers strewn all around the floor, all kinds of shoes. The bed's never made. There's like clothes rolling on the floor, the dirty clothes. What kind of commercial?
No, I never missed.
That is exactly what it's like. Mom
bullshit.
going into her son's?
I never missed the hamper. You know that's my own hamper that I brought with me. The clothes that are on the bed are brand new with tags on. I haven't even hung them up yet. I've literally ran into the house.
We got the biggest closet in the house that's in that room that we redid,
and I appreciate it.
And he throws everything on the bed, and he doesn't even close the closet door.
That's because Lily goes in there. I leave it slightly askew.
I know, because she's looking for mice.
No, she's not. The place is clean. I vacuum in there up stop. The place is clean. Just clothes on the bed because I'm running in and out constantly trying to get shit done.
It's ridiculous, man.
Dustin Dwyer says used rubbers, empty Jaeger bottles.
Oh, come on, man. I'm a grown-ass man. I don't drink Jaeger anymore, man. Come on. We moved on to Cavassier and all that other stuff now.
619-924-9874 is the number. Of course, we're brought to you by U.S. Sky Energy Drinks. Sky Energy, baby. It's what we. The other day, I was really out of it. I got up really early in the morning, 6:15. Robin and I had to clean the entire house, the basement, the dining room, because we were having like a little Thanksgiving, second Thanksgiving.
You know how like
Sunday.
in Lord of the Rings where they have second breakfast and third breakfast? We had second Thanksgiving.
Oh, by the way, Lord of the Rings I saw today was racist.
Everything's racist nowadays.
I was trying to keep track of what's racist. Lord of the Rings is now apparently racist. So is, you know what else is racist?
What?
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving. Because all these shows from the 60s now, which we watched as kids and never really paid much attention to except we knew it was a holiday tradition, now all of a sudden people are watching it again. And just like the world today, everything must be dealt with as how the hell did they allow that? We've got to get rid of it. It's like history. We want to get rid of all of our history so that kids don't even have to worry about, which they don't anyway. They don't teach civics in school. So kids don't even forget about history courses anymore because there is no history. Today will be history tomorrow. That's all you got to know is I don't know what happened beyond 2 years ago. So therefore, I don't really need to know history of what happened in the 1700s,
it's
1800s.
Pathetic. It's really pathetic.
It is pathetic.
You follow me, camera guy?
I think that the song from Avenue Q, Everyone's a Little Bit Racist, is more and more appropriate every single day.
So we're gonna play this trailer now.
So no, this is a song because I read this morning that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. A lot of people watched it, and it was on last night, Tuesday night. So people were watching it and live tweeting Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, a show that was made in 1969 with Burl Ives, right? And Vernon, Jackie Vernon, I believe, was the guy who was the voice of the Snowman. And all of a sudden, people were like, "Do you realize what they've done to Rudolph? Rudolph was a castaway. He was bullied." Until they needed him for his stinking red nose on Christmas Eve.
I remember
and Santa Claus is a dick.
He is.
Now, you people say Santa was a real dick to Rudolph in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I remember when I was a little girl watching that. He was. I was like, that's not very nice. Like, everybody was really mean.
They were mean to Rudolph.
They were very mean.
It was like, Rudolph, get the hell out of here, you bastard. You're a misfit. And then they had the Island of Misfit Toys. That's bullying.
And then I always, and it's funny because this is going to come up. You have to listen to it in this song. But I remember when one of the little elves, he wants to run away to go become a dentist.
Yes.
I always thought, a dentist? Like, what? Why a dentist? Like, that's his dream to become a dentist?
Well, obviously it wasn't filmed in Britain.
No.
Because nobody wants to be a dentist over there.
But we really should play this song because it is absolutely hysterical. If you've ever watched that, and everybody on the planet has seen that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer animatronic, whatever they call it.
It was a cartoon.
Claymation. It was claymation or whatever.
Let's go now to what it really should be. Louis.
I actually hear being a dentist can be very fulfilling.
Oh.
No, you can't do more than one of those to die.
It was a joke. All right, let's go to the damn tape.
Let's go to the tape. This is what really happened on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the way it should have been played out.
From the Disney of Christmas specials comes the holiday classic that makes the whole family say, man, this movie is so much weirder than I remember.
Whatever a dentist is, I hope someday that you're the greatest.
Rudolph, the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Saddle up for a sleigh ride based on the famous tune about Rudolph, full of other, way less catchy songs.
We are Santa's elves, filling Santa's shelves.
But since it's Rudolph's story after all, we thought we'd sing his famous carol if it were honest about what actually happens in the film.
You know Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen. But you don't know Coach or Clarice, this woodsman.
Who?
As this movie shows, it's so much weirder than you know.
Wait, I don't...
This prepubescent reindeer had a neon whistling nose, and when someone else sees it, their tiny little mind explodes. All of the other reindeer treat him like he's got the plague.
No doe of mine is going to be seen with a red-nosed reindeer.
They send him into exile, 'cause the Santa's full of rage.
Donner, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Then one of Santa's elf slaves leaves his grueling job. He'll be a dentist someday, which is clearly code for gay.
Come here, open your mouth.
Out in the frozen wasteland, they all run into this fool.
Who?
Who helps them find.
All right, this is too
No, keep playing it. Just leave our mics on.
Okay.
This group of freaks escapes to the island of misfit toys, led by the King Moonraiser.
Okay, hold on. I gotta stop you right there. This is nuts. None of this is from the Christmas Carol. It's just insane filler. Y'all turned a simple story into, like, Lord of the Rings for kids on acid. Don't do it. Don't you dare start singing it.
Then it snows on Christmas Eve, so bad Santa can't see.
They use Rudolph for his light and pretend they're friends tonight. The moral of the story is that being different's bad, unless your defect's useful. Man, this movie's really sad.
Sorry to Red Kid and Bass.
Starring Dad Knows Dozdo, Fosty the Snowman, Lil Farrell, Yukon the Red-Beard Hipster, The Lion King, and We Wampa Wish You a Merry Christmas. Teenage Mutant Red-Nosed Reindeer.
There you have it.
At least they only stretched the Rudolph song to just 1 hour-long special. It's not like they sent him back to dinosaur times to save New Year's or something.
It's raining sunshine.
Oh, come on.
Hey guys, this January is going to be Fan Appreciation Month, so we wanted to give you the heads up for 2 big announcements.
That's enough. It's too much. It's too much.
It is too much. You got the point.
Well, yeah.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Santa is a dick.
Right.
Rudolph is someone they don't care about and bullied.
Totally bullied
until
for
they
being
need
different.
that little bastard to save Santa's ass on Christmas Eve to light up his nose and get him the hell under the chimney to bring me my damn presents.
Well, let's go to someone right now who we really care about, who's here to help save this damn podcast
and
before
he's
everyone
actually-
logs off. Let's go to Steve Saban. He's on the line.
A man who
He is-
understands the social connection of all these shows that we watched as children that are now deemed racist and bullying and all of these other things that have made America a terrible, terrible place.
It's the
for
greatest
all of us.
country in the world, Tony. Don't forget that, all right?
The great Steve Zabin down there in D.C. Were you watching Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and realizing just how awful it was?
You know what? Everything gets dated. Everything does change over time. But thank God they can still air it, mostly unedited, right? Mostly unedited on television. Someday we'll have to huddle around televisions in safe rooms with our scratched up DVDs just to watch that classic because it'll be deemed unacceptable in modern sensitive society.
Well, we went from last Thursday, the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving Christmas special was deemed racially insensitive. And now, of course, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I'm looking forward to next Easter when Moses goes up on the mount and grabs his 2 tablets and says, take it out of my, what is the line that Charlton Heston used when he was the head of the NRA? You're going to have to take it from my cold, dead hands. And then Charlton Heston will be called a gun hater, a gun grabber, who pointed to the burning bush and said, that's a right-wing extremist group trying to shut down free speech on Mount Sinai, or something along those lines when they determine that too is culturally inappropriate.
Yeah, I saw where people pointed out that Franklin, the only black kid on Peanuts, was forced to sit alone on one side of the table in a shoddy folding chair, and I didn't even notice till I looked closer. Somehow, Snoopy, despite only being able to cook toast and jelly beans, had whipped up a full serving of collard greens just for Franklin. And I'm like, that's racist, man.
How's that racist? That's really, for a dog to be able to whip up collard greens? That's progress.
That was thoughtful of him.
You know how many white people can't make collard greens?
That's racist!
Yeah. Steve Zabin joining us. Okay, now that we've covered the politically incorrect holiday fare that's coming out every single night until Christmas, and who knows after that. Pretty soon New Year's Eve will be banished too, because there's people making out, and we shouldn't be seeing that as long as we identify these people and know who they are. Anyway, the big story, Zabe, is your Washington Redskins go out and grab Reuben Foster off the waiver wire, the only team in the NFL that went for him. Now, he can't play, but I saw that Doug Williams is saying, hey, you know what, he can't play until there's an investigation. But he did ask the team, and the Redskins have 8 players from Alabama on their roster. And I guess they surveyed the room, so to speak, and they said, hey, he's a good guy. So they decided to take a flyer on him. He was a first-round pick, the 31st pick in 2017. What's the reaction in D.C. to the Reuben Foster signing?
Most of us hate it. This is a move of a loser franchise, frankly. Look, Reuben Foster looked like a good player coming out of Alabama. A lot of guys do. And he was okay in San Francisco. I don't think he's a difference maker. He plays a position middle linebacker that's out of fashion. You know, the days of Brian Urlacher and Ray Lewis, it's like nobody cares about middle backers anymore. It's all about edge rushers. And I just don't see where it's worth it with this guy. This guy cannot stay out of the spotlight, cannot stay out of trouble. How is he still with a girlfriend who admitted to lying about a felony assault that she said was a money grab because he wanted to break up with her? Who's still dating a woman like that 6 months later? Crazy person.
And then have it happen again with the same woman that the charges are. Now it's misdemeanor assault. And listen, this is serious stuff. But you're right. Again, should he never work again? No, he'll go through the process. But the fact that Washington picked him up right away, and again, let's point out, he can't practice with the team. He could show up at the facility, but he can't engage in organized team activities, practice, or even think about playing in a game with only 5 games to go in the regular season.
More importantly, Tony, this is what I hate the most. The fact that the Redskins said, we talked to the other Alabama players, and they all said yes. That is no way to run a team, for God's sakes. And we're not running a rehab center for former college teammates. I mean, if you do that, which Alabama player is going to stand up and go, no, I don't think he's a good guy. I'm going to be the one that votes against it. It's ridiculous. And how does it make everyone else on the team, the other 43 players or however many that aren't Alabama grads or alums, how does it make them feel? It doesn't make them feel like, I got a say in this team. We'll just talk to the Bama boys. It's ridiculous. It's not how it's done in New England. I know that.
Well, at least they could have called Nick Saban and got his blessing. See, if Nick Saban had said, go ahead and sign him, then you say, okay, yeah, he's Nick Saban. Yeah. We have to genuflect and then say whatever Nick Saban says, we're going to go with.
Well, what I'm hoping is this is the long con, Tony. We're playing the long game here like China is on global affairs. We're going to get every Alabama player we can, and then the last piece of the puzzle, boom, Nick Saban. We drop him right in, and we can't be beat.
That's you know what? Why not? If Doug Williams is doing a survey of the room of the 8 Alabama players, why not just bring in the greatest coach in college football, almost college football history now, and Nick Saban?
One day Nick Saban will show up to work. He'll be like, "Where's my football team?" And the answer is, well, Dan Snyder stole them all, and if you want to coach, you'll have to coach for the Redskins.
As long
That's
as he
the
brings
plan, I
back
think.
the old ball coach with the visor and brings Steve Spurrier back as one of his assistants.
Please, God, no. Please, God. I want to know, is there a revival of optimism in the city of brotherly hate for the beloved Eagles?
Absolutely.
Or is it just
absolutely
a fool's gold of we're not that good? You think you're getting it together?
Well, I'll never get it together. I've been trying that my whole life, Steve. But you know what? They played better in the second half. They looked like they couldn't stop anybody. Here's the amazing thing about what they did. Not that they, that obviously you watched the game the first half. They were getting trampled. They couldn't stop anybody. Third down, it didn't matter. You knew that the defensive backs on this team couldn't stop anybody, and Eli Manning was having a field day. Then all of a sudden, the defensive coordinator, Jim Schwartz, talks to the players and says, hey, and Malcolm Jenkins has to go to Jim Schwartz and say, hey, we got all these young guys back here who have no idea what they're doing. Let's make it simple. Simplify this game. And boom, they come out in the second half, and they play like it wasn't even the same group out there. And then all of a sudden, they started running the ball, which they haven't been doing all year, and they started moving the chains, eating up clock, and running the ball and finding a way to win the game. So they went back to what they were doing last year. Does that mean it's going to continue on Monday night against Washington? Who knows? But what we saw in the second half was something we haven't seen since before they blew that lead to the Carolina Panthers, 17-0 in the fourth quarter. That's when the wheels really came off this team as they were trying to put it together back then. And it looked like they did. But then they lose to Carolina, and everything else since then has been a disaster. So, but this division is so bad, as you know. Look at Washington. They had this thing wrapped up until Alex Smith went down. So who's going to win this division? Dallas? Dallas is playing the best right now. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, no, I agree. How'd they simplify? Did they just play more man-to-man in the second half? I know it helped that Pat Shurmur stopped running the football, didn't give the ball to Saquon Barkley, which was really a genius move by him.
I know. There had to be something wrong with Saquon Barkley. There's no way anybody would have just – I mean, Luigi's watching that game. Is there any way Saquon Barkley – I know he had some minor injuries. All these players have minor injuries. He did nothing, and they didn't give him the ball. They had how many yards rushing in the second half? 10 yards?
No, he had 101 yards
at halftime.
Only 13 carries. They only gave him the ball 13 times on the ground.
That was in the first half. In the second half, they pretty much ignored him. They ignored him in the second half. So, to me, you got to rip Pat Shurmur. I mean, Pat Shurmur pretty much allowed the Eagles to get themselves psychologically back into the game. And to their credit, they found a way to win it in the last minute, worked the clock down to the final seconds, kicked the field goal, and won the game. Does that mean they're going to run the table? No. It means that at least there's some life in the NFC East, a division that pretty much, without any doubt, is the worst division in football. Is there any doubt about it? We can call it the NFC least again, as we used to back in the day.
You have a literal dumpster fire.
Yeah, it is really a dumpster fire. There's no doubt about it.
I am calling the NFC East a pillow fight to 9-7.
A pillow
and it's
fight
us, it's you guys, it's the Cowboys. At one point, I thought that you guys had lost your pillow, but you picked it up in the second half. So the pillow fight is back on, and tomorrow is huge. I mean, if the Cowboys can pull a stunning upset, which I doubt, over New Orleans, then that changes everything. We're counting on that as a loss.
Yeah, I mean, the Cowboys at home, this is how good the Saints are. The Cowboys are 7.5-point underdogs at home to the Saints. And every time you think the Saints aren't going to cover the number, they cover the number. They killed me in Thanksgiving by a point because obviously there was an opportunity for the late backdoor cover for those of us who had the points. And you saw what happened when there were a couple of, and I saw you on Twitter. You were visibly shaken as well as I was.
Yeah, absolutely. It was one of those nights, man.
We're talking with Steve Zabin down in D.C. All right, Steve, the rest of when you look at the rest of the I know they asked you look at teams like the Green Bay Packers, and Aaron Rodgers today said they could run the table, and they laughed at him. But they laughed at him a couple of years ago when they were 4-6, and then they ran the table and finished 10-6. But I don't think this is the same team. You can't look at this Green Bay Packer team. They got a lot of young players on offense. Their defense is fair to Midland. Is there any way, as great as Aaron Rodgers is, that they can run the table and find a way to win that division with the Bears still in the distance? They still have to play the Bears again.
Not only that, but Aaron Rodgers is not the same Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, for the first time in his career, is getting legitimate heat for not playing well. His fundamentals are not right. He's missing guys that are wide open. Missing Devontae Adams against the Vikings last Monday night was terrible, or Sunday night. And he's got to get better himself. And they got to change that offense. I mean, the days of, okay, Aaron, save us, be a hero, stand around in the pocket, move 8 ways, throw a bomb to somebody, that's over. They got to go to a more of a timing offense where the ball is out in 2 seconds or less, like Brady. He's not taking these hits. And then when you want to take a shot, let him drop back and rear back and take a deep shot. But it's too much. They've been leaning on Rodgers for way too long, and it's finally all come apart.
I saw this stat the other night. Aaron Rodgers is 0 for 37 when he is trailing by more than a point in the fourth quarter against teams with a losing record. How does that happen?
With a losing record.
When trailing by more than 1 point.
That's quite a stat right there. I mean, how many times has he gone into the fourth quarter trailing by just a single point is what I'd like to know.
I don't know, but I know he's obviously come back many times as well. But the biggest problem is they can't win on the road. They're 0-6 on the road. And you have to win road games if you're a playoff team. And this team cannot win a road game.
Yeah, if I'm a Packer fan, I am desperately saying, please don't win another game. Make sure McCarthy is gone. It's long overdue. The worst thing that could happen is if they do run the table and sneak in, and then Mark Murphy up there decides, let's keep old Coach McPositive for another year. This guy has got to go.
But in the words of the great Aaron Rodgers, when he's not selling State Farm insurance with his crusty agent, you know what he said to all of us, and I think we should remember these words right now. Steve Zabin.
Relax.
5 letters here. RELAX. Relax. Okay.
Yeah. Now you see him on the sidelines. He looks like a sad lumberjack. Big old beard. A 1,000-yard stare. He looks like a guy that's been cutting logs all day long and comes into the lodge and he's told, we're out of beer.
It went from relax to
What the hell's going on out here?
Exactly right. If Vince Lombardi were still around, he would be screaming that on the sidelines into Mike McCarthy's ears.
Do we have a wager for the Skins and Eagles
on
Monday night?
Well, I looked at the spread. You know what the spread is, right? Your Philadelphia Eagles are favored by 6.5.
It's a lot of points.
Against the Washington Redskins. And I've been picking against the Eagles with the points the last couple of weeks and cashing. So last week, the perfect scenario. Eagles were 5.5-point favorites. I took the 5.5, and the Eagles beat the Giants by the field goal, so they win the game, and the Giants cover the 5.5. And now you got a situation, the Eagles at home have not exactly been a dominant home team like they were a year ago.
No.
So the pressure's on the Eagles. I don't believe it's on Washington. Is there pressure on Washington coming in here on Monday night? Hell no.
No. House money because we got a backup quarterback. Problem is Colt McCoy is not very good. And I think if you make him throw enough, put a little bit of heat on him, you're going to see that. Arm strength has been an issue as well. I'm just not real enthused at the ability of Colt McCoy to win 3 of these last 5 games to get the Skins in.
Well, there's only one thing that could be worse than Colt McCoy being out there. That is Mark Sanchez finding a way to get into the ball game on Monday night. If Mark Sanchez gets into the game,
is one heartbeat away from being on the field.
Will that ever die?
No, I mean, the butt fumble. Listen, Mark Sanchez was a good quarterback in college. He was decent in the beginning. His first couple of years, he went to AFC championship games with the Jets.
Well, he had a great Jets defense, too.
Yeah,
but he also, they went to championship.
Yeah, he wrote.
Two of them.
They went, but the Jets brought him along, not the other way around.
No doubt about it.
You go look at his numbers from those years. He was a tourist. He was not the leader of that group.
All right, the last question about the quarterback position, because it's all over the intranet today. The Washington Redskins signed Reuben Foster, yet do not sign Colin Kaepernick. How the hell does that happen?
I saw that take from almost every predictable left-leaning pundit in the sports media sphere.
You mean like 99% of the sports media sphere? That one?
Yeah, right. Right, right. Basically everybody is, except for maybe you and me, I guess. But no, it was so artfully, twisted into they'll take a guy who might beat his wife or bite his girlfriend, but they're not going to take a guy who kneels during the anthem. It is so ridiculous, so predictable, so pathetic. But I guess players are going to bang this. They're going to bang this drum until I don't know when. Until maybe Kaepernick finally says, "I'm not playing again."
You know what? And if somebody signs Kaepernick, I'm not going to be out there protesting and breaking Bank of America windows. I don't really care. But the point is that the suggestion that teams absolutely have an obligation, and I know he's got the collusion lawsuit coming up in Philly here in the near future, but the collusion thing I don't buy, because but Eric Reed got signed, right? All these guys that took a knee, they're playing. Michael Bennett got signed. People who protested the anthem aren't being denied a job. I think Kaepernick is being denied a job. This is just my opinion, not because I have inside information or I think the NFL's a racist league. I think that the teams don't want the baggage, especially if you're a playoff team. Are you going to bring him in now? Because anybody bringing him in now is somebody that thinks they need somebody to help them down the stretch. Are you going to mess up your locker room right now and take a chance with a guy that you don't know? Again, he's not going to come in and everybody's going to revolt and not be able to play, but you're going to expect a guy to come in who hasn't played in a long time, come in now into a playoff hunt, and put him on a roster, and he's one hit away from going into a game. I don't think teams want to take that chance, plus the baggage that he brings to the table, because if he doesn't play well and he gets to play, then what happens? What happens if he goes out there and plays like he did with the 49ers at the end of his career, when he was brutal? What happens then? So he's really in a no-win situation.
They'd say you gotta hang in there with him. They'd say he's got time to learn the playbook. I think what he brings, not any kind of baggage, he brings an additional 120 media credentials, many of them that don't cover football at all. It brings CNN and Slate.com and a bunch of other outfits and outlets that just want to chronicle, finally, Colin Kaepernick breaking through this great wall of collusion that they have, cooked up as their narrative. And what NFL team wants to handle another 100 media members that don't cover the NFL? That's the burden. That's the weight of it. And that's sort of what Tebow had, because Tebow brought a lot of extra media credentials that really weren't interested in covering football or the team. They were covering Tim Tebow, the phenomenon.
Yeah, that's a great point. And when I say baggage, I don't mean he's a bad human being or he's going to be doing things off the field that people don't, or being a bad human. It's just the baggage means all of the periphery stuff that goes around him playing for your team. Not that he can't. He's better than a lot of. There's no doubt that he right now is probably better than 60% of the backup cornerbacks in this league. It's just that no team wants to take that on because nobody's building for the future with him. And no one's in a playoff hunt is trying to make a move to bring him in because he's the guy that you think is going to be able to light that spark. It's not like the situation with the young quarterbacks coming in, like Josh Allen in Buffalo, or down in Houston, for example, where the unbelievable story of Deshaun Watson coming in and showing the world that he's legit and he's an NFL star and lighting that Houston Texans franchise, and what's going on in Baltimore as they make a change from Joe Flacco. Those guys are the future. And the future guys come in, get a chance, just like Kaepernick did when he became the future, when they put him in the game, and he looked great for the 49ers the first couple of years. So that's what this is all about. But you know what? He'll have his day in court, and this collusion thing will go to trial, and we'll see what happens. But, again, the whole outrage, the constant daily outrage about whenever a player is signed, why is Colin Kaepernick not in the NFL? Why am I not still the number one network sports radio guy making millions of dollars a year?
Damn it.
Why? Why are you not making millions of dollars a year if I'm assuming that you're not doing a morning syndicated radio show? Are we victims of collusion, Zabe? Yes. Are you and I victims of collusion?
I could offer an opinion. I'm just saying.
You and I have worked at the highest levels of this industry. Why are we not getting the $5 million a year guaranteed contracts to be talking heads in the morning?
Yeah.
Damn right.
To be like Skip Bayless or Stephen A.
Sort of. No, Stephen A. though, he's bounced. Listen, Steve's a friend, and I know all those guys. But you know what? Thank God that they get a lot of chances. They get second, third, fourth, and fifth chances. And so that's why when I hear people, all I need is another chance. People get a lot of chances. I had a lot of chances, but I moved on in my career. I moved on when I felt that I wasn't wanted, and I didn't allow them to push me out. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, Tony, like the guys that make the most money paint the most simplistic takes that are meant to agitate, that are very black or white or one side or the other. There's no nuance. There's no humor. There's no sarcasm. There's no genuine self-effacement. They are just, it's like McTakes, as I call them. And if you can deliver the loudest, most strident and noise-making takes, then they'll say, hey, we can use you. That's why the guys that are on TV do this, and it's like painting with very simple watercolors. You and I understand the absurdity of sports. You and I understand the nuance of sports, and we don't take our own takes that seriously because everyone's got a take. Like everyone's got an asshole. Can I say that on a podcast?
Yes, you can.
I just did.
Or you know what else you can say?
It doesn't matter. We all have our takes.
And we don't suck. That's the thing. You can have a take and not suck.
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole.
Exactly. Now, Luigi's one of those guys. He's the hot take kind of guy. If you've ever heard Luigi, you met Luigi, my buddy here. Guy off the streets. Now has his own podcast. No, he mocks hot takes, too, because you're right. I joked around when we did the podcast a couple of weeks ago with Harry Mays when we were talking about, hot takes are the thing now. I'm old enough to remember when we called them opinions. Now it's got to be a hot take.
Right.
I mock them. That's what I do.
Luigi mocks hot takes.
Yes, because a lot of times your opinion can be layered and somewhat conflicting. But if you are on television or now these radio executives, they just want a very simple opinion to hold on to. It's part of the dumbing down of everything in America. And it's ridiculous, but that's unfortunately what they think sells.
You're damn right.
Like I always say, if I would for this Eagles-Redskins game, I would tweet out, hot take central. Both the Eagles and Redskins are both going to have to play 4 quarters each to finish this game.
Unless there's overtime, of course.
But that's what I mean. That's the kind of hot takes you see out there.
Maybe 5.
And if there's overtime, then Donovan McNabb will be called in to do a special report on how overtime is decided in the National Football League.
I mean, I can't see the Eagles losing this game if they're leading after regulation.
I
can't see it.
Unless the officials have a play in the last couple of games and there's not a helmet-to-helmet call that's blatantly obvious. But enough about that. Zabe, always great to talk to you, pal.
Oh, wait. I have an update.
We have an update?
Yes.
We have breaking news already on the show?
Steve contacted me asking me to refill his Thin-Optics prescription that he received from us as a gift. I think was it during
the
Super Bowl? It was a Super Bowl when I first gave you one, right? And
yes.
We've got new product. We've got new thin-optic product.
That was a couple years ago. And since that time, man, my vision has been like that Olympic skier in the opening of Wild World of Sports, flying off the ski jump.
Exactly.
And so I need that more than ever now. And it's genius because there's always that emergency pair right on the back of your phone.
Yep. Or
so
keychain.
You are never without your glasses.
Well, I'm sending you assortment. I'm sending you one that you can just paste on the back of your phone. There's another one that has a magnet so that you can remove the different designs. And I'm sending you a keychain. So you're going to be totally covered.
You're hooked up, man. That's the kind of swag.
I love it.
That's the kind of swag we give our, as they say, contestants on the Tony Bruno Show. Will go home from the Spiegel catalog, Chicago 60609. Is the Spiegel catalog still in business? I know Montgomery Ward is.
No, they're gone, unfortunately. I used to love Spiegel catalog.
I still remember the zip code, right? Spiegel catalog, Chicago 60609.
Oh, well, that's good.
You remember that, Steve?
Yeah. What's the P.O. box for a transcript of Nightline?
That was that's in Owings Mills, Maryland, used to be the place where you got the transcripts.
Right.
There was always transcripts of
transcript.
2020 or Nightline available at the Something Press. What was it? There was Something Press in Owings Mills, Maryland. And you're familiar with? Don't you live in Owings Mills, Maryland?
No, I don't live in that trash burg, but it is close by. I've been through it. Some good people, but whatever. No. No, but what's funny is you think, okay, who would need a transcript of 2020 or Nightline? Probably some old lady who's just going to write her senator and needs to have proof. Did you hear what Ted Koppel said? Well, I've got the transcript right here.
It probably takes 6 weeks for her to receive it, and then she has to write the letter.
Yeah.
And yeah.
No, those PBS shows on Saturday mornings, like the car shows and all those great shows I used to listen to. The one guy who used to do a game show and travel around the country. Some really good PBS Saturday morning programming that I used to listen to driving around when I was in Connecticut. And they would always have transcripts from such and such a place in Owings Mills, Maryland. And I always wondered, somebody's sitting in a building in Owings Mills, Maryland, transcribing stuff. That's pretty sad.
That is pretty sad.
Because if you ever watch the live transcription of something that's live now, and they have somebody doing they can't keep track.
I wonder if it's computerized now.
Oh, well, it's not Tony. It's actual software that is doing the closed captioning. And if you saw the Ed Orgeron post-game press conference closed captioning after the LSU-Alabama game, it was gold because the software could not understand his deep Cajun accent, and it was throwing up words and sentences. I'm serious. Google it and watch it on YouTube. You'll die laughing.
That's what I figure. I mean, because there's so many times where I'm like, how did
with
they
all these
get
court
that?
reporters, can't they get somebody to transcribe stuff accurately anymore?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Because, if you have a scripted show, you already know what the contents are when you put the closed captioning up because there's a script.
Right.
But when there's a live press conference, the closed captioning is always messed up.
Always.
And we have the greatest technology on earth, and they can't transcribe things properly or accurately. It's an outrage.
They're not using Dragon Voice or whatever that. There's an app that's out there.
Dragon Voice. I think they're doing pretty good, but they had a hard time with Ed Orgeron. Go Tigers. Well, we done played them pretty good. We tried to stop them on the run.
Nothing like 7 overtime college football games and then assistant coaches throwing down in the middle of the field afterwards. That was insane, man. Did you see any of that stuff?
Yeah, good times.
That's what we need in the NFL.
It's ridiculous, man.
We need guys throwing down at the end of games now. We got to bring that back.
Well, you got idiots like Leonard Fournette getting kicked out of a game because, he's deciding to be a fake tough guy trying to punch a guy through his helmet with his bare hand.
But Steve,
and now getting suspended for a game. That guy, that asshole's not healthy enough to play half the games any year anyway, and he's getting kicked out of games.
Yeah,
idiot.
But Steven, Leonard Fournette's defense, I mean, when is the last time you go in the Buffalo and not got in a fight yourself? I got to throw it out there. I'm just saying. I think he was baited more than anything.
No,
it's a fair point. There's savages up there, and I would never even go to Buffalo, much less go through the parking lot and watch the table slamming going on.
That's too much.
But yeah, I hear you on that.
No, Luigi just has him in his fantasy team, and he's pissed off they didn't get him any more yards.
I didn't draft that sucker. Are you kidding me?
A season of misery for any fantasy owners that had Leonard Fournette.
Or anybody on the Jacksonville Jaguars, for that matter.
Or drafted Le'Veon Bell.
Yes, exactly.
Well, needless to say, Steve.
Yeah. How many guys did you know in your fantasy league that took Le'Veon Bell that were sure he was going to end this nonsense after week 2, 3, or 4?
He went number 2 overall.
That's why I don't play fantasy.
That's why I laughed the entire time.
I have a hard enough time with reality, let alone fantasy.
That's a bad answer, Tony. You should play fantasy. Just don't draft crazy guys who are holding out. Should have known.
I don't have any time for that. My life is way too complete.
You got nothing but time. You're doing renovations to your townhome. You're waxing your head. You're staging protests at the PPA. You're the poster boy for, I got nothing else going on. Let's do this.
I'm woke. I'm woke. What can I tell you?
You should be in about a half a dozen fantasy leagues, Tony. You really are the prime candidate.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's put your hands together for the man, the myth, the legend, the great, Steve Zabin.
And don't forget, you will get a package in the mail any day now.
Yes, don't look for anything from Amazon because we're cheap. We're sending it regular mail.
Standard.
Right, but you will get it from Thin Optics. And anybody else out there who would like to check out and get their own Thin Optics, you can go onto thinoptics.com and put in the code word Bruno, and you will get a fantastic discount.
Yes, and they have even more. Every year they come up with new stuff. Now they have the full glasses instead of the ones that just go on your nose. They're full, but they're really thin, and they're in a thin case, too. We may send you a pair of those if we have an extra one sitting around. I had a pair on last week. I wanted to bring them tonight, and then Robin forgot them. I hate to do it to her. Zabe, always good to talk to you, pal, and hopefully we see you soon, man.
All right, we'll see how the pillow fight is Monday night.
Who do you like? We making a pick here? We're going to make some ridiculous, stupid radio bet?
Straight cash, homie. Yeah, let's make a bet here.
All right.
And we go straight up. I know I should take the 6.5. I find it disrespectful we're that big of a dog just because our quarterback's out. I like the Redskins straight up because teams that signed potential repeat domestic abusers on Monday night in division just before once December starts are a stunning 93-5-2 all time. Straight up, I'll take the Skins.
You're going with the criminal element faction that the great Chuck, who was the coach of the Steelers, who called the Oakland Raiders the criminal element? Chuck Noll, when he referred to the Oakland Raiders back in the 70s as the criminal element of the NFL. Remember those days?
93-5-2 is hard to bet against.
I remember the Raiders said, when they heard that, they said, oh, that's an awfully nice thing of him to say.
All right, so you're going to take so obviously I got to go the other way. I think the Eagles have a shot in this game. They should. They're 6.5-point favorites.
All right. Here, if you guys win, I will send you a month's worth of free transcriptions of Nightline from Owings Mills, Maryland.
Oh, beautiful.
And if the Redskins win, you can send me something appropriate from Philadelphia.
All right, I'll send you a Markel Fultz autographed jersey, which is already a collector's item.
You can send
Yes!
And then I will throw in a Jaleel Okafor jersey signed from last year as a complimentary gift. You're getting 2 Sixer draft bust jerseys for the price of none.
Or send me the Kevin Cobb number 4 that was worn in Silver Linings Playbook.
Oh,
that's what I want.
I can't get my hands on that.
I was going to say I might be able to get my hands on a Nerlens Noel for you.
Nerlens Noel?
I can get you a hand.
How about his Drew Holiday?
No. That's still stuck around a little bit like that. But that Kevin Cobb jersey in Silver Linings Playbook was pretty bad. I mean, they could have updated the jerseys in that movie, don't you think?
You know what's interesting? If you go into a Goodwill store, you will see all of the 76ers draft picks who are no longer with the team on one round. I'm not making this up.
Royal Ivy's out there.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the lottery picks. I'm not even talking about Royal Ivy wasn't a lottery pick.
No.
A second rounder, right?
Yeah, he was
not Royal Ivy with cheese.
No, not him.
That was a different guy. Zabe, good stuff, man.
Trust the process. The process is draft 20 first-round picks, hope that 8 of them stick. Process.
How about hope that 3 of them stick?
Okay, whatever, yeah. All right, boys, see ya.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Steve Zabin down there in Washington. You can catch him on his podcast, the Zabecast, at Steve Zabe. What's his Twitter, Robin?
At Zabe.
At CZABE.
Correct.
At Zabe. He does podcasts. We did one sitting around drinking a couple weeks ago on a Sunday watching football. That's what it's all about. It's all about drinking and doing a podcast.
Speaking of drinking and doing podcasts, that makes you have to use the restroom.
Yes,
we need to take a break.
And we will. And then just as an update about drinking and doing a podcast, who was it? Sorry, James Dolan said. I think it was James Dolan. He said, "I love a podcast where you can say asshole."
We can say whatever we want here.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's even really, really bad profanity, but it's used.
Like my asshole. How about that?
Yeah, it's used in context. As long as it's an actual news subject, you can use profanity. We don't use profanity just for the sake of using it.
No, we don't say like asshole and fuck just for the heck of it.
Exactly right. It's got to be important. When we come back.
And now I think
righty.
Tony really, or Luigi really, really, really needs to go to the bathroom. So
It's not about going to the bathroom. Just trying to. We have another guest coming on, and
Yes.
we're making sure that we're on time.
See, he's acting like a director.
Oh, look at that.
Things have changed, man.
They have?
No.
People change.
No.
Seasons change.
Yeah.
People change.
I change. As Rocky said in Rocky IV, if I can change and you can change, then we can change, Tony.
Then why did he keep making bad Rocky movies if that was the case?
Because he was making change. That's why. What are you talking about? Stick around, folks.
We're coming right back. 5-minute break. Go wee-wee, and then we'll come back. Craig James is going to join us. We have some updates we have to get to also, including a Cowboy fans are so happy they could just have sex with you and pee on a tree update. That's still ahead here.
Can't
on
wait.
Tony Bruno Show Live.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Show starts in 5 minutes.
The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candies. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
We're happy to have you with us this evening and want you to enjoy every minute of your stay here. And while you relax and stretch, visit our concession where you'll find something to please you. There are ice-cold drinks and many other pleasing treats. Our drinks, satisfying and refreshing. They're so good.
Show starts in 4 minutes. Show starts in 3 minutes.
It's refreshment time, folks.
Taste that beats the others cold. Pepsi pours it on. Taste that beats the others cold. Pepsi pours it on.
Show starts in 2 minutes. Show starts in 1 minute. And now, on with the show.
Sing it, Dino.
Well, it's lonesome in this old town.
Everybody puts me down.
I hear you.
I'm a face without a name. And
Just
I'm walking in the rain, going back to Houston. Hello. Houston. Houston. Yes, we're going back to Houston here live on the Tony Bruno Show on a Wednesday night. And a man who was probably the most disappointed person I saw in Texas just a few weeks ago when his boy Beto O'Rourke did not win the Senate seat in his native state of Texas. But he's getting over it now because the Houston Texans are playing great. He is the pony, one of the all-time greats, and a man who is better looking and more polished than Beto O'Rourke, the great Craig James. How are you, man?
Man, you're killing me. First of all, I got to set the record straight. I think Beto O'Rourke did an amazing job, but I am a Ted Cruz supporter. I'm a Republican, man. I couldn't go with Beto, but he was very good. And
well, first of all, he's not Beto. His name is Bobby. I'm more Hispanic than Beto O'Rourke. Come on, man. Had nothing to do with politics, left or right. The guy's name is Robert Francis O'Rourke. How do you get Beto out of that?
Well, it becomes very appropriate and helpful when you're running for office. Anything that can get you that kind of deal, I guess.
It's an outrage. Craig James, enough about politics. Let's get down to the business. Are the Houston Texans the best team in the state of Texas right now as far as the national football? I know the Cowboys are coming on, but the Houston Texans, you want to talk about teams that are under the radar, they're good.
Yeah, I think so. Winning 8 games in a row, they've got confidence that the Cowboys don't have right now just because they've won more. Their defense is playing outstanding. They're playing in the backfield. The Cowboys' defense is playing very good right now. But you'd have to say Deshaun Watson is a premier quarterback right now when compared to Dak Prescott. And so in this league, to catch lightning in a bottle like the Texans have, you have to have a quarterback that gets hot, and they've got the guy.
And their running backs, they got 2 running backs. One guy is maybe the best in football as far as breaking the long ones. Lamar Miller. I mean, this guy has 2 90-plus yard touchdown runs in the NFL, and he's the last guy. Tony Dorsett was the last guy to do it, right?
Yeah, and I was reading that he was caught on a 50-yard run, and he put that extra juice into it so he didn't get caught the other day. Matt, when it's working, it's the magic of football, of sport, team sport. You don't know how to get it going, but once you get it going, you love it, you hang on to it, and do all you can to do the little things that got you there.
And their defense, and now that J.J. Watt is 100% healthy, I mean, they're just animals back there. I mean, they've got the complete team right now. Is there any doubt about that when you look at teams?
I don't doubt that for a second. They have a complete team right now. Bill O'Brien made a comment about how the team is playing complementary football. And he said that means that the offense is running the ball, converting on third down. They're not turning the football over. And the defense is playing extremely well, stopping the opponent on third down, and they're turning the ball back over with turnovers to the offense, who then turns them into points. That's complementary football. It's hard to do. It's you got an offense and a defense going together and big plays, play action pass, not forcing Deshaun Watson to win the game with his arm, handoff, play action pass.
The great Craig James talking Houston Texans football. And of course, the Cowboys are going to play on Thursday Night Football, and they got the Saints, who are clearly, they and the Rams in the NFC, are clearly the two best teams without any question. Now, the Cowboys are playing better, and we're seeing some teams play better down the stretch. But I don't think anybody in the NFC East, anybody in the NFC, well, Minnesota's playing well. The Bears are really a good team. But right now, it's the Saints and it's the Rams. I mean, is there any question? Is anybody else in their league?
No, not at all. And the fact, and this goes back again to having a hot quarterback, and the Saints have that quarterback, the Rams have that quarterback, the Chiefs have that quarterback. Those guys are hot, man. And it's I can't remember what it was. One of the players with the Chiefs, maybe Kelsey, he said, "Man, it's like going down the road with the convertible top back, and we're just hair flying, man. It's getting after it, having fun."
I wouldn't know that feeling, Craig. Come on, man. That's a sore point with me, man.
Well, it's a great point. But hey, and before we leave the Cowboys, what was Jimmy Johnson's that famous saying? What did he say that time?
How about them Cowboys?
You know, we got to go back. That was so long ago, Craig. You still look the same. I had a full head of hair. That's how long ago it was. And that wasn't even the last Cowboys Super Bowl in Tempe. That was a Cowboys Super Bowl before that, because you know who won the last Super Bowl for the Cowboys, Barry Switzer, who we hung out with a couple of years ago when we were down there in Houston at that big party.
Yeah, David.
Absolutely. Hey, man, you're the best. I tell you, the memories that we have is so much fun, and the stories and behind-the-scenes stories. How about them Cowboys, man? I will never forget that. That's legendary.
I used to play that all the time for Craig, because he's a legit Texas guy. See,
yeah, absolutely.
I don't rip Cowboy fans or fans of any Cowboy or Texas team or from Texas. It's like the people here in Philadelphia who have no connection to the Cowboys, and they're Cowboy fans. They're just front runners.
Well, you were just talking about the fact when we were down there in Houston at David Gow's house, and we were doing the show there for the Final Four. And Craig was there. We had there was a picture of all of us on Facebook that kind of prompted me to call Craig. But you were talking about Barry Switzer, and you and I are on air, Tony. We're doing a live thing, and we're interviewing Barry, and you're talking about that fourth down play where he went for it against the Eagles.
Yeah.
And Tony specifically told me, he goes, "Luigi, listen, we're on terrestrial radio. You can't curse." And I'm like, "Tony, it's fine. Everything's gonna be fine." And Barry, Tony's he's laying into Barry about this play. And Barry Switzer throws his hand up on the table with a Super Bowl ring and goes, "Remind me one more time who won that year." And I looked right at Barry. I said, "Barry, why are you bringing up old shit?" Live on air.
Nah,
he had a great laugh about it.
You talk about one of the great characters in football history, man. Barry Switzer is
awesome.
legit. He is a great guy. And you know me, I'm not a Cowboy fan because I'm from Philly, but I know so many players, Michael Irvin and Troy and all those guys, and Jay Novacek, all became really good friends because I was on in Dallas all my years at ESPN and Fox. And so those guys listen, and they know that it's all good-natured stuff and there's no venom. It's just stupid sports stuff. That's what we do. Except Craig. I mean, he was a hell of a player, man. You remember SMU? Now, what's going on with SMU now, Craig? What the hell's going on down there, man?
Go figure it out. We're 5-6, and we're going, and we play at Tulsa the last week of the season. 2-9 Tulsa. Yeah, and we got a bowl game on the line. We go up there and lose. And, I mean, it's just like, come on, guys. And I think Sonny Dykes is a great coach for us. He wants to be there. He can recruit because he knows Texas, but he needs to get more players, better players. They need to get tough. You got to want it, man. I see this in this culture, this generation of athletes today, regardless of the sport, across the board. It's one of these deals where if you can find someone where the sport that they're playing is important to them, get them, take them. Because most of these guys just enjoy the idea of being a student athlete, going to the fraternity party, sorority party, and just having fun being an athlete in college. Man, when we were there, I had a team full of guys who were committed. We hated to lose. We worked our fanny off to do it. That's why we were conference champions. That's the same attitude we had when I was with the New England Patriots, and we made it to the Super Bowl. We wanted to win. It was important to us.
Now, you were with the Patriots when Champagne Tony Eason was the quarterback, right, back in those days?
Yes, I was. Tony Eason and Steve Grogan, he was there as well.
Wow. That's old school, man. That's old school. By the way,
I'm telling you, I spoke the other day to a bunch of kids, and they asked me to wear my jersey. my Super Bowl jersey still fit. I didn't even have to stretch it out. I was like, well, and we did wear face masks back then, guys.
Wow.
Oh, good.
I told you, man, you're one of those guys who never ages. You're like the Dick Clark of college football, man. You look the same now as you did 25 years ago when I was working at ESPN. But, two of my favorite coaches, Mike Leach and Mike Gundy. Are there two better coaches in college football as far as quotable guys that you always want to listen to post-game?
What did Mike Gundy say? He was like, I'm not a boy, I'm a man.
I'm a man. I'm 40. Yeah, I'm a man. I'm 40.
Yeah. Mike Gundy is awesome, man. What he's done for Oklahoma State. He's a Cowboy. It matters to him there, and he's done a phenomenal job recruiting in the state of Texas. And, Mike Gundy's a good one.
And he also had the famous quote every week. They always ask him weird questions, and he always has the best answers. The most recent one, they asked him about social media. Did you hear this one? Let me play it for you here, Craig.
Yeah, I'd give a rat's ass about Twitter.
He said, I don't give a rat's ass about Twitter.
I did hear that. That was great.
He's amazing, man.
There are many coaches who do that anymore.
He's a walking soundboard himself.
He is.
Like, he really is.
When you have that kind of confidence and swagger, and you're good at what you do, you could do. Imagine if Saban and Nick Saban and Bill Belichick were that lucid. Those guys are just close to the vest. They say the things they have to. But I want a guy who has fun when he's doing it. And
Yeah, I'd give a rat's ass about Twitter.
Exactly. I don't either. By the way, our buddy Bob Sagendorf, another one of our cohorts from up in ESPN days, listening in tonight on Facebook Live, and says hi, Craig, from up there in Connecticut.
Oh, man. Hey, Sag. Boy, what a great – you know what? We worked at ESPN when it was ESPN, and it was awesome. We knew each other. Everybody knew each other. It was big, but it was small. And, man, I'm telling you, I've got great memories. Hello, Sag.
Yeah, I just went up to New York, and we did a 25th anniversary show with Keith Olbermann, me, and Chuck Wilson. The exact hour, 25 years to the day that ESPN Radio went on the air in 1992. And we went up in New York and taped a special that they ran last year in January, actually, of this year. And that was a lot of fun seeing the old guys and bringing back memories of all the great stuff we used to talk about back before there was an internet and all the other crazy stuff that exists today.
Absolutely. And man, I mean, just in the fun of launching the Deuce and having to put on like a silk shirt so I could go sit over and do that show, run back in, put my coat and tie on for ESPN. And just to, the way things were, and it was just good broadcast times. And there wasn't the social media, and it's a different world.
But people don't realize this, Craig, about you, is that after your playing days, you went out and you were doing boot camps for broadcasters. A lot of athletes would go to your classes, and I know Brian Baldinger was involved, and a lot of guys who were great players went on and did things to help other broadcasters to transition from being players to broadcasters. And you work with a lot of guys that we hear today in the sports media who are players who wanted to get into the business as well.
You know what, Tony? Those were almost 10 years of doing a school where I would help Mike Golick, the Merrill Hodges, countless guys that came through, coaches. And we'd spend 3 or 4 days with them helping to understand what an on-camera game open is, how you prepare for that, what's a field report, et cetera. And it was really fun. And I remember it was like $6,500 for a 4-day school. And I had all these players who were tightwads, and they would say, Craig, man, that's a lot of money. So finally I said to one of them, I don't remember who it was, I said, you know what, here's what I'll do. I'll pay your $6,500 fee for the school, but I get 50% of all your future broadcast revenue. Like, no, man, I ain't doing that.
Because now guys get that to do a half of football in networks.
Well, I was wondering, Craig, this is
exactly.
Craig, this is Luigi, and I was wondering if the school was still open, because ever since I hooked up with Tony, my career is torpedoed. I was wondering if you could help me out.
You saw Luigi in Houston. He's trying to learn the radio the old way by drinking his way to success. And
the Tony Bruno way of radio. Exactly. All right. Listen, I might not remember Houston, but Houston sure as hell remembers me. All right? That's all that matters. All right.
There you go.
Exactly right, man.
All right, Craig, who do you like in the AFC and who do you like in the NFC? I mean, obviously New England's great. Obviously the Steelers are hanging in there, even though they were made a couple of stupid decisions last week.
The Chargers just got killed with losing Melvin Gordon.
The Chargers are good. I mean, but in the AFC, you got to have the Patriots there and you got to have the Chargers there. But for the most part, I mean, it's the NFC. The NFC to me, and they're clearly the favorites to win the Super Bowl. Whether it's New Orleans, whoever gets the NFC championship, they're going to be favored in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm a big Chiefs fan. I really like the Chiefs. I don't sense the Patriots having that extra whatever it is. Maybe it's youth, craziness about them. I don't have a good feeling about my Patriots right now. I do like the Chiefs. The Saints right now with Breeze playing like he is, you can't get to them. They've got the ground game, they got receivers, defense, everything. They have it going on right now, and I would have to say that at this point here, it's going to be hard to beat the Saints.
Well, if the Cowboys find a way to beat them on Thursday Night Football, you want to talk about Cowboy fans coming out of the woodwork everywhere. That's what will happen. If Dallas beats the Saints on Thursday Night Football as underdogs and they're home, then you're going to hear all of a sudden the Cowboy Nation going really crazy. And the ones that are really the frauds who don't really root for the Cowboys until they're good, they're going to be really annoying, Craig. But I know how to deal with them, though. You know that.
Yeah.
I want to tell you, we did it our way, baby. We did it. We did it. We did it.
My favorite Barry Switzer job. My favorite Barry Switzer one was.
We got a job to do, and we're gonna do it, baby.
Remember that one? We got a job to do, and we're gonna do it,
baby. Well, you know what? He doesn't get enough credit for what he did.
I agree.
He corralled a bunch of great players that were wilder than a March hare, and they won a championship. And Jerry Jones for this week, I heard where Jerry said that he's challenging the team and saying we need a Super Bowl type effort in this game. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the Cowboys play extremely well in this game, and the fans are going to be excited about it. But I just long term, it might not be that bad for the Saints to get a loss out of the way, and you don't want to go into the playoffs on a big time roll because that's doomsday for you.
Craig James, ladies and gentlemen, the Pony. Love this guy. He looks good, and I keep getting older, and he stays the same age, man.
Exactly right.
As they said in Dazed and Confused.
Right.
I get older, but Craig James stays the same age. Are you wearing cowboy boots right now as we speak, Craig?
I just took them off, man. I've had my boots on all day, and they were made for stomping. I love your intro going back to Houston. Going back to Houston.
We actually need to go back because one of the things that we did not do is
I left a pair of socks somewhere.
Yeah.
You left. I think you left a lot of things over there.
We were just there for the
Super Bowl. I may have left a child somewhere, to be honest.
We've been to Houston for the Super Bowl, the Final Four. I mean, what's coming up next in Houston?
But we were going to go get cowboy boots, and we did not do that while we were there.
We were running around like crazy. We didn't have any time.
I got Tony Llamas. I got those when I won a pair at one of the Super Bowls. I put my name in a hat, and they made me a pair of boots.
Tony Llamas.
Tony Llamas. Isn't that Tony Llama, the boot company?
Oh, they're fantastic.
Yeah, there is Tony Llamas. They're Justin. There are Luke Casey.
Yep.
You need a Luke Casey. You need to get the Cadillacs, man.
Is that one of the 5 crown families?
I need a new big ass belt buckle too. I used to have one of those. I got to get a big one.
You know which ones I like? I like the Fry, the old boots. They look.
Fry.
Oh, yeah.
Fry boots.
No, Luke Casey's the big deal now. Not
Morbid Corleone guy.
When I grew up in Houston, I thought everybody had an oil well, drove a Cadillac, and had a pair of cowboy boots with a big belt buckle. I just thought that was natural.
Didn't you have the horns on your? Didn't you have horns on your hood ornament, like the two bull horns up on front?
The Longhorn steer horns.
I saw that car when I was when I was at the Country Music Hall of Fame. The Cadillac with the bull horns had the shotgun in the back. It was all in leather. Had the revolvers. It was. You ever see the movie
Absolutely.
Twins? It's got the big old horns in the front.
About.
Yeah, I saw that car up live.
Now my favorite though is when you see them and during Christmas time, and then they have the lights on the horns.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, it's Christmas,
Craig does that in his sleep, man. Come on. Craig James. Hey, Craig, great to talk to you, man. Happy holidays. Hopefully we'll see you soon. You going to the Super Bowl in Atlanta?
If I do, I will definitely look you up. I look forward to seeing you, and it's always great to be on with you guys. Thank y'all for having me. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to everybody, and let's do this again.
Thank you, Craig. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the great, the pony, Craig James. Good, man. Good. Still laughing in the background.
He is still laughing about it. I just had to let him go.
By the way, I have a Twitter update now. Where earlier we were talking about going up and cutting down our Christmas trees, Robin. What's the matter?
Robin's been trying to say something for the past 4 minutes. Go ahead.
No. I just had this really, really naughty thought.
Oh, Christ. Here we go.
About Craig James?
Yeah, but you call him the pony. What does his wife do?
So humongous big.
Really, Robin? Have you been drinking tonight?
He's very good looking.
No, he's a great-looking guy.
He's a very good-looking
man.
man.
If I died tonight and wanted to come back tomorrow and look like somebody, it would be Craig James. Seriously.
And I'm
the
sorry.
guy looks amazing.
Well, he's aged well. He's definitely aged
that's
well.
what I'm talking about.
Oh,
By
he
the
took
way,
care of himself. You didn't give a shit. I
didn't abuse myself. I wasn't a crackhead or.
Listen,
not
man.
yet, anyway.
Not yet. I mean, there's time.
Unfortunately, I'm just too good of a cook.
That's what it is. You got to watch the salt, though.
By the way, the guy that I was mentioning earlier, who's one of my favorite Twitter followers, the man who calls himself, quote, thirst for non-white quarterback at non-white QB, checked in. And earlier when I said we were going to go try to cut the tree and it's probably somebody will consider it a white person thing, he checks in tonight, thirst for a non-white quarterback, and says, cutting down a tree is some white folk casserole paying bills on time shit.
Exactly. That's what it is,
Let me repeat that again. Cutting down a tree is some white folk casserole paying bills on time shit.
It is.
He's exactly right. Give him a roaring round of applause for that.
I will do that.
That's why I love that guy. You know, I'm assuming it's a guy.
You know what else white people like? Cheese.
Cheese?
Yeah, don't they like cheese? Cutting cheese and all that stuff?
Yeah, let's go to our Florida update, speaking of cheese. And speaking of people getting along beautifully this holiday season, we saw it at Black Friday. You've seen all the videos of people rushing into stores and fighting over $100 TVs, dropping them, and then refusing to pay for the extended warranty when they check out with it, realizing that their TV has just been dropped as it was picked around and thrown around by 25 people fighting for it.
Yep.
But in Florida,
it's normal.
Things are a little different down there.
They do things a little different.
Nobody's running to Walmart and Target to fight themselves. They're standing in line at one of my favorite places, wherever I go when I need something.
Where's that?
The dollar store.
Damn right.
Let's go to you cut some cheese, I'll cut your ass. And your correspondent, Miss Robin. Down in Florida, baby.
Dateline Dania Beach.
You know where that is?
I don't. Where is Dania
Broward
Beach?
County. Not only can't they count votes down there, they can't even run dollar stores. Let's get back to our Florida update already in progress with Ms. Robin.
Alrighty then.
I'm done. Just stop right there.
You know, sharing is caring, and we like to share cheese platters, but there is one kind of cheese that we really don't care for sharing. And a woman in Dania Beach found out when she was standing in line at our favorite dollar store.
It wasn't our. We haven't been to that one.
You a Dollar Tree guy or Dollar Store guy?
It doesn't
I'm a
matter.
Dollar Store. I'm Dollar Tree. I'm not the Dollar Plus because that means they sell shit for like $6, $7, $8.
Yeah, it goes up.
Everything's got to be $1. I'm not paying $3. I'm going into no Dollar Plus, no dollar value. The Dollar Tree
Dollar
or
General?
Dollar Store.
Dollar General.
No,
or
Dollar General's also.
No, Dollar General's fine.
Everything's $1?
Everything's $1.
I don't
Dollar
think
General.
so. I think that's what general means. It's generally around $1.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not all
Usually.
But there is nothing embarrassing about going to the especially for like wrapping paper and
Hell yeah.
shit like that. But I digress.
Okay.
A woman, Shanette Yvette Wilson, 37 years old, was standing minding her own business.
She was in line. There's long
She was
lines
standing
this
in
time
line.
of
You know,
year.
actually, they're fairly efficient. They're fast because
Yeah.
everything's $1. You know, you don't have to go for a price check.
That's
and
right.
So she was standing in line when she suddenly passed the kind of cheese that you don't want to pass.
Stanky stuff?
A little stanky.
A stanky fart?
And
Wait a minute. We have an update, Luigi?
Yes, Dollar Tree is a true dollar store in the world of dollar stores.
Correct.
There are two different kinds of players. There are the true dollar stores like Dollar Tree and 99 cents only.
That's the one.
Where
That's the
everything's
one.
$1 or less, no exceptions.
Right.
But Dollar General
And
is
then
not.
there is places like Dollar General and Family Dollar, which are dollar stores in name only.
Exactly. That's what I said earlier.
Gotcha.
Dollar Tree
It was the
or
99
cents only.
99 cent is in California.
Yes, and it says 99 cents only stores.
Yes.
Don't be
But we
playing
don't-
all that other bullshit thinking you're going to get stuff for $1.
Well,
We
we're here to
digress.
break the facts. That's it.
And they make great stocking stuffer items. And
I get all my little, you know, the things that I love to collect. Those little movie things that have the solar thing, like they have Christmas ones, they have Easter ones, Halloween ones. You know which ones I'm talking about?
Right.
The little not bobbleheads, but they shake and they have a little solar panel on the
they're
front.
bobbleheads. They're not bobbleheads, but they're TikTok.
Dollar Tree's all-purpose cleaner, which you can get for $1, is rated as one of the #1 all-purpose cleaners, where you're spending $9-10 on the name
I'm a
brand.
Fabuloso guy myself.
Fabuloso. There's the orange flavored, citrus flavored one is awesome. Grapefruit flavor.
But let's get back to the
Let's
woman
get back
farting in
to-
line here, already in progress.
Dollar store will sell steaks from time to time for $1.
I know.
Hey, I survived on the dollar store when I was first getting divorced and I moved to LA, started a new job, hadn't got paid yet, and I bought all of my food and accoutrement at the dollar
That's
store.
where I shop now. Now that I'm a broke-ass old retiree, I'm going to the damn dollar store, and I'm proud of it.
One of my most favorite items, and I went back to find stocking stuffers for all my girlfriends at the dollar store, and they were sold out. They had these little tiny personal, and I put air quotes here, facial massagers that they were selling for $1, and it became my favorite. And I wanted to give it away to all my girlfriends.
Little
and
basically dildos that you can...
And they were sold out in less than 24 hours.
Well, they get extremely high marks here for disposable razors and ovulation predictors.
Yes.
Right, which normally go for $7 a pop. You can get them for $1. I mean,
So if you think you knock some sister up, some girl up, you go in there, you go to the dollar store, you get one of those pregnancy tests.
And Dollar Tree Canada is the place where everything is $1.25.
That's why I'm never moving to Canada, no matter who's president.
But we've digressed a lot here. Let's get back to the line.
Let's
shall
get
we?
back to the business.
When last we joined Robin, the woman was farting in line with a stanky fart in the dollar store in Broward County, Florida.
And John Walker, who was a customer standing behind Shanette, was not very happy about this. He got into a verbal dispute, in air quotes again, in reference to the defendant farting loudly.
Was it the loud fart or the fact that it was a stanky fart?
I think it was
because a lot of
both.
people fart loud, but it's not stinking. Then there's a silent but
silent,
deadly
the
one.
SBD.
Oh yeah, the SBD ones. Are you
But
down with SBDs?
You know me, Tony.
But
I mean, when you
it's
get
both,
a silent but deadly one, and then you look around the room to see who, and there's like hot women around you, and you're thinking, could that really hot woman have just busted a nasty fart that's stinking the entire room out? Do you ever wonder when you're in an elevator and somebody lays one that's a silent one, but there's like 3 hot women
and you?
2 guys, or just me, and I know it wasn't me, and you look at the 3 other women and you're thinking, which
one?
And you look
One
at them,
of
and
these things
it's
is
one that's the
not
one that
like
always
the
looks at you and
other.
looks around. The one that looks around, they're always the guilty party. You can't hide it when you do it, and everybody does it. It's human, it's not something you can
If
avoid.
it ever happened to me, I usually if I have to go, I will step away because I can't hide it because my face I'm so white that and I blush really really easily, so my face would totally give it away. But again, we digress.
So the guy says,
So
"Hey,
he
did you
says-
lay
yeah,
that?
so
You bust
he-
that fart?"
He actually says something to her, and then Shanette goes, "You talking to me?" and whips out a lockback knife from her purse. What is a lockback knife?
You lock
It's
it
like
back.
is it like a
It's
switchblade?
not a hollow
It's like a
back
switchblade.
knife.
It's
It's like a
exactly what it is.
switchblade?
It's
A
a
hollow
switchblade.
back knife that is not good. I mean, it's better, but
And
It's even worse than a
whipped
knife. Are you
out
kidding me?
Her switch knife and told told John Walker
Don't
that
go
she
there
was
with
gonna
me.
gut him. She was gonna gut him.
she was going to gut him right there in the
gut
dollar
him
store.
right then and there. I'm gonna cut you. That's what she said. And
Goodness gracious.
she actually pulled back her right hand with a knife.
I
as if
believe
she
we
was
have tape. Let's go to the tape of this actual incident.
Well, this is not very exciting there, Tony.
No, let's-
It'll get there.
Is it?
This is when she's in line,
Oh, go. Okay.
It's the buildup.
All
and
right.
all of a sudden, there it goes. There's a belch 1st
So that already let you know he was a rude gentleman.
No,
That was
this
a
is
woman.
I mean, a woman. I'm sorry. And there it is.
There it is. Oh, and there it is again. Oh, my. Oh. At this point, I might say something, too. God, Tony, you were still 5 years old. All right already.
This is the greatest 60 seconds in cinematic history.
And we're only 10 seconds away.
Beans, Mr. Taggart. I'd say you've had enough.
Yeah, exactly. Would like some more beans there.
Anywho, this is like the longest farting story ever.
Listen, it's not very often you can do farting jokes on the air anymore and get away with it.
Walker he says that he was in fear for his life, that he was going to be stabbed by the defendant. She was arrested, and her bail was set at $2,500.
Man, you know how much Beano she could buy with that at the dollar store? They have
20
Beano.
2,500
cans of Beano, Tony. Listen, I'm no mathematician, but...
Now, what would you do? Now, let's put, again, regardless of what the situation... You're in a store, and there's somebody in front of you, male or female.
What say you?
Somebody farts loudly, and it stinks. Would you say something?
I don't...
It's a good poll question. Let's go to the phones.
619-924-9874.
It's a holiday season. Lots of people in stores. A lot of pushing and shoving and crowding. Everybody's all bundled up because it's starting to get cold.
It is windy out there.
And then somebody farts.
Corey McManus says, I love it. The Sixers games are on. I muted that while tuning into the beautiful
Well,
podcast.
it's 91-62. The Sixers are laying a biblical beatdown on the New York Knicks.
We know with the Sixers team, it ain't over till it's over.
No, it's over. The Knicks stink on ice.
And Guapalat on Periscope says, at that point, just offer her some toilet paper.
No, what would you do? Seriously, because it's not. This isn't some.
I agree with Mark Mill says. I would laugh.
Laugh?
I would laugh, but I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like you don't want to be rude to the person or draw attention to him by laughing. But
I would say damn. That's what I would do. I would just
Freddie
say,
Mitchell's at the game. I just saw Freddie Mitchell's.
It's his birthday.
It's my birthday too.
Not today.
No, on Friday.
It's Fred X's birthday today.
Yeah, but I've done more for the city of Philadelphia lately than Freddie Mitchell.
Did you ever catch a 4th and 26 pass?
No, but I did pay my taxes.
Mr. Fantastic 6F says, I love coming in on these topics.
I think you don't have to say anything. But if it's more than one, I mean, and they don't even try to turn around and say, excuse me, or, I'm just a pig in general, something like that, then I think you have to say something.
No, you don't have to. But you could say, if I had felt the need to say something, I might laugh a little bit and go, I've been there.
No.
I would have said, you stink, mother.
No, here's what I would have said. Since it's a woman in this case, I would have said, damn. That's all I would have said. That's all you need to say. She probably would have laughed. I would have laughed. I would have opened my coat, put my head. I would have done the Count Dracula thing.
No.
I would have taken my coat and put it over my head, shrouded myself, and then I would have laughed.
I believe
that's
this
all.
woman
I wouldn't.
would say,
the woman wouldn't have to pull her knife out. She wouldn't have to gut me. She wouldn't have to gut me in the store. You know what I'm saying?
That's you, by the way.
I don't know. Maybe say,
don't go there with me. Don't go there with me. Don't go
I
there
didn't.
with
I
me.
just said I would say,
damn.
damn.
You keep it real with me, because I ain't for no games.
I didn't. By the way,
Maybe
we got to
just
give it
say,
up to Joseph Jenkins on Twitter tonight.
That's right. Yes, we do.
Joseph Jenkins has just posted a lovely photograph of his living room where he's got 2 monitors. He's got 2 TVs on, both of them with split screens of the podcast live. He's watching that while he puts up his Christmas tree, and he's got a beautiful tree. It's real, and it's spectacular. So he says, watching the Tony Bruno podcast, got the Christmas tree up, time for lights.
that's not a split screen, Tony. That's one screen with 2 cameras.
Oh, I didn't realize it looked like that when it's one big screen. It looks like he's got 2 screens in
I know,
there.
it's just prettier when it's on a big screen.
The only thing
But
better
these guys, so when we show up in a split screen on a regular TV?
Yeah.
Damn, I got to watch this show every once in a while.
Only thing better than 2 screens?
2 chicks at the same time.
Oh, you can have that at the same time when you're putting the tree up.
I got to pay attention to the show.
That's a nice tree.
That is a nice tree.
Joseph, now, is that a real tree? Did you cut that down?
You know who Joseph is, right? That's our boy that was out there in Afghanistan. We were in Minnesota. He ordered food for us.
That's right.
Remember,
That's
he called
him.
in. That's
Yes.
him, yes. He's also part of the Funkin' Fantasy Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is Fantasy League.
He's a quality human being.
If he wins this week, he's going to the playoffs. By the way, breaking news on that.
Wait, breaking news again on this show?
The proprietor of this place, Rich.
Yes.
Rich Vittori, our boy. is in first place in that league. In
No
my league,
way.
yes, he is. And I play him this week, and I can play spoiler to upset him for a first round bye. And he came over and he whispered to me, "You know you got to lay down, son, right?"
Wow, he's
But
asking you to.
He's
asking you to take the fall.
No, I'm actually asking him if he would give me a little bit of money if he wins, and I will lay down for him because I'm out of it. I'm so
we
way out
have
of it.
tape of Rich coming in here last week when he got into first place in Luigi's fantasy football team.
How's everyone doing? Let's make some noise. Come on.
I am pissed off.
Well,
so go ahead, Robin. I'm sorry.
Joseph Jenkins, we're happy to hear that you are back home safe and sound and that you are able to hopefully spend all of the holidays at home and that you're not going back out there.
And we, how much we love the military on the show, and we respect all the men and women out there who are serving us and people who have over the years. Nothing but love for the military. We got to do another update here, Luigi.
On what? What do we got?
You know, wait, I have one more thing.
One more thing about farting?
No.
Oh.
About the dollar store.
Oh, okay.
So I found out something recently about Tony Bruno that blew me away.
What?
I found out that I was under the impression that there were certain medical practices that had been gone for a long, long, long time.
What?
And I found out that not only, and then I read about that they were coming back into vogue because they found out that something that was done in the Middle
I know
Ages.
What you're talking about, yes.
Now is actually effective. And when I mentioned this,
it's always been effective. It hasn't been since back in the day.
In the 1930s, approximately, with the all the new medications and the antibiotics, they no longer found it necessary, but they are now realizing that leeching is actually an effective form of medication.
There are real leeches.
You might be able to find leeches at the dollar store coming soon. But I found out when I mentioned this that Tony Bruno,
as a young punk kid, I was playing baseball, and I got hit in the face. Playing first base, I got my first glove, and I was playing first base.
You tried to use it first.
And the glove wasn't broken in. And the dude threw the ball to me, and it hit off the glove and hit me in the eye, and I got a gigantic shiner. So I go home. I wasn't crying or anything because I was like 12 years old.
Mama Bruno.
And Mama Bruno said, right at the corner of at 15th and Wharton in South Philadelphia, where I grew up on that street, there was a pharmacy. And at that pharmacy, you could go in, and the pharmacist had live leeches. And we're talking about in the 70s. We're talking about the 60s. We're not talking about 1930.
Only in Italian neighborhoods, because this was nowhere else.
No, it wasn't just an Italian neighborhood. My neighborhood was mixed. It wasn't just an Italian neighborhood. It was a mixed neighborhood. There were African Americans.
That's racist!
It wasn't racist. So my mom went in and got a live leech, and you put that baby right on the big shiner, and it would attach itself, and it would suck all the blood out. Nowadays, they're called...
so she knew your ex-wife before even
hipsters.
You did.
Or ex-wives. That's right, exactly. Back when leeches were just insects who served a valuable purpose.
Well, apparently leeches are coming back, bro.
Yes, they are.
Because the cost might be well worth it. $350 a day?
Would you? I was actually.
Oh, this is your story. You had a story on this.
I'm so
sorry. I'm so sorry, Robert. I thought I did some investigative journalism here.
Not Brian Leach, of course, the former New York Ranger.
The leeches they were done away with for a while. They are now FDA approved again.
Damn right.
They're FDA approved.
I was way ahead of my time.
Not only that, but the French pharmaceutical company who has been breeding leeches for the last 150 years.
Mm-hmm. You mean they're not eating them like escargot?
Oh, my God.
I don't know. But
I can understand how they do that, how they help break up like blood clots and things like that.
Yeah,
makes sense.
they have a special enzyme that they shoot into you before they bite you, so that when you don't feel it.
They serve a purpose.
But can you feel them squirming, Tony?
I think I got to be knocked out for that.
No,
I can't have any leeches crawling
listen,
on me.
I was a shy kid. I didn't want to do it, but when it was on there doing its thing.
What's the difference between that and a strip club? I mean, seriously, what's the difference?
I had a lot of chicks suck on my neck when I was a teenager. Why not on my eye?
Exactly.
Now, that's different than they also use maggots.
No, I never use maggots.
They use maggots to eat away dead flesh. Totally different thing.
No, I don't have dead
They actually use
flesh.
that as a form of, because it's a
But
safe
leeches
way.
they serve a purpose. And leeches are back. I may start my own leech farm. down in the basement.
We watched a show on raising leeches. There was like up in Canada or something where they had a whole leech farm, right?
Don't worry, I'm moving out soon. Take it easy, man. Jesus Christ.
Louise's the only leech in our house right now.
No, I pick up orange juice. I pick up the milk. I almost got done saying ulat. Because Tony and I had this great discussion over Thanksgiving about the Italian language, and it's basically the who, what, when, where, and why, but in Italian.
But it's not really Italian. It's the Americanized version of saying things that sound Italian.
Yeah, and it's like we say, like when you say ham, right? We don't say the ham. We say uem.
Uem. Like my mother's Italian, so she speaks with an accent. So when you say, hey, Mom, what are we going to have? Uem.
But when we say...
it's uhem. Or ham.
But then there's like pasta. We don't say the pasta. We say a pasta.
A pasta.
A pasta.
So it's a pasta, uhem. And then there's another version, which is e.
E. Like when you're describing a like a group or something like that. Like there's like what can I do?
I'm trying to
like bananas, like i banana.
I banana.
I banana. The bananas.
Plural.
Right. Like plural. You pluralize
But
it.
this is not actually formal Italian.
No, but you can get by on this.
Yeah.
You can get by on
What
it.
about O? Is there anything O?
No.
Oh, my.
There's a.
Avafangulo.
Yeah. Then there's ma too. Mavafangulo.
There's a lot of things you can use. It's a very fluid language.
That was pretty good.
When you're talking Italian slang, it's very flat.
This is Tony and I in his sister's dining room on Thanksgiving talking about this for 45 minutes. It's the only way we got through it.
Mark Millsaps has a correction that says that Luigi is a mooch, not a leech.
I'm not a mooch.
You're not a mooch.
I pay, bro. What you talking about? I pay every day.
Damn right. Meanwhile, let me get this other update in here. We got to do a Cowboy fans are so happy. How happy are Cowboy fans? Let's go to your Dallas Cowboy desk, and I will bring you this important information tonight.
By the way, my mom gave us a roaring round of applause during that whole thing.
She did?
Yes, she did.
She's listening in tonight?
Yes, she is, man.
She liked the E, A, U,
exactly,
I.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the vowels, A, E, Y, O, U, and sometimes Y.
Y.
A, E, I, O, U. And sometimes, there was a song, remember? A, E, I, O, U, S, Y. And sometimes Y. No, who did that song, Luigi? Now you got to find that for me. A, E, I, O, U, and Y. No, it's A, E, I, O, U.
Jeff Masuda says, nice. Where else can one get such language instruction?
You can't. There's no podcast on earth.
And then Joe Jenkins says, I hope nobody at Moonshine is eating during this leech and maggot discussion.
No, they're next door in the actual bar restaurant area. We're here in the big room. Did you find it? Here it is.
I find everything you asked me to get.
Now, who did this?
I don't know. Andy Piddock. Published. I have no idea.
Are you sure this is the song? It sounded like a funk song.
A-E-I-O-U.
That's not the song. This is like a Sesame Street thing.
All right, they got
this was like a funk song.
That was like a reggae almost.
This was a funk song from like the 80s. It was A, E, A, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. Is this it? This may be it, yeah.
Eben Ozen?
Could be. Let's listen in. I knew it had funk to it.
This is definitely funk.
It's something, all right.
Dodo, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore.
It's like bad 80s funk.
Yeah.
This is it.
This is it. Listen.
Is that a moog? I think they're using a moog in the background.
All right, get to the hook.
I was walking on Broadway, and there's this incredible-looking Swedish girl having a cappuccino across the
I don't know if that's it.
center.
This can't be it.
Mark Millsap.
Oh, Freeze? I got it.
Let's hear it. This is it. There it is.
There it is.
See, that's a good job out of you,
Filo
Jeff.
Man, which means finally.
Well, we can't hear it from there.
I got it playing.
Remember this song? Every song in the 80s sounded like this. It's the same hook, same beat, but then they did it to A-E-I-O-U. I used Club Enchanté, I think, when Bob Pantano was there back in the days. And the Geeter. Everything had songs.
Back in a dance party.
Marquis John says, bad 80s skate music?
This isn't it, Jack.
This is it. Listen.
Oh, this is it. sometimes why. A-E-I-O-U.
I've never heard this song in my life.
Stop the hammering.
Come on, you never went to the discos back in the 80s?
Hell no. I was barely in diapers, dude.
I did, but it was European discos, and we had much better music.
I can't deal with this anymore, bro. This is bad, man. That's just not.
Who has better knowledge of
Nobody.
songs?
No, I mean, seriously.
I remember the beat. I remember the sound of it.
If we could go back, if we could go on and redo Name That Tune, Tony would win hands freaking down.
And this is Fringe shit. This isn't. These aren't like
Fringe.
monster.
This is way
These
off
are
Fringe.
B-sides and Fringe shit that I do here.
Jeff Masuda says that you and I should run in 2020, and Luigi can be in the cabinet.
Put him in the bathroom. It's better
He'd
than
be in the
put it in the bed.
Houbanette. That's what he'd be. In a baccals.
Trust me, you need a guy like me on your side, all right? With all the shit I got to clean up for you guys, are you kidding me?
All right, let's get back to our Dallas Cowboy update now.
Oh, we got to do this?
Because Cowboys are playing on Thursday Night Football, and Cowboy fans are really happy right about now. They're feeling it. Could they be a playoff team? Could they be, for the first time in 1996, a team that could make a run to the Super Bowl in the NFC? Probably not.
No.
But how happy are Cowboy fans?
Happy as hell, bro.
They're so happy right now that they will have sex with you and then pee on a tree. Let's go to Dallas, Texas for this update tonight from Dallas, Texas, which is where the update would come from if it was a Dallas update.
Yes, it would be.
And so a wedding photographer in the Dallas area probably will not be counting on recommendations from her last client.
So a female wedding
So it's a
photographer.
female, 26 years old. She was hired as the photographer at a wedding on Saturday in Dallas. She allegedly had sex with one of the guests at the wedding venue.
That's a good job. Okay.
Yeah. Kathleen Mehta, 26, was told to leave the party after she became intoxicated.
That
Since
never
when-
happens in
since when does a
Texas.
wedding
Come on in.
Since when does a wedding photographer get that
That
boozed up,
wasted?
wasted, where they'd say, hey, dude over there, come on out on the dance floor. Let's screw around in the back here behind the wedding cake. So officers said at one point, Mehta had started yelling near a water fountain before urinating on a tree. She also allegedly threatened to kill the officers who drove her to jail. Quote, your families will be dead by Christmas, she said. They found a prescription bottle in her name for alprazolam. Alprazolam. You know what that is, Robin?
Alprazolam. Wasn't,
He was in, I think, The Third Godfather.
I
wasn't
believe,
he?
yeah, I think it was alprazolam. Yeah.
Alprazolam, a drug commonly used to treat anxiety and panic disorder.
Oh, I can use some of that.
And then at the end, as she was being whisked away, wasted to jail, you know what she was heard saying?
What was she heard saying?
As she was exclaiming through the night, not Merry Christmas to all, and Vafangul to all of you, and a good night.
She was saying this.
How about them Cowboys?
Exactly right. They're not going anywhere, Tony. They're not going anywhere.
How come I can't find wedding photographers like that whenever I go to a wedding?
It'd be fun to get the wedding photographer wasted. I mean, think about the pictures you would get.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Forget about pictures. How about the video?
By the way,
I'm saying, man.
alprazolam.
A 26-year-old wasted wedding photographer who puts out and then pees on a tree in the lobby?
Boy.
Take me outside. How about that?
How about that?
Exactly right.
And then she said to the cop afterwards when they finally arrested her,
How about that?
what did she say?
Lick my asshole. How about that?
Exactly.
Jesus. Jesus.
Alprazolam might make you dizzy or drowsy, and alcohol or marijuana can make you even more dizzy or drowsy.
Apparently it made her more like what's the stuff that they used to give chicks, to the date rape stuff?
Roofies.
Not the date rape
Roofies.
stuff.
Roofies.
No, not roofies. This is stuff that people took voluntarily to get all horned up. What was the stuff?
I never took anything. I don't know.
No, I didn't either, but it was a big thing like 5-10 years ago.
No, even longer than that.
It's still hot. People still do it.
What? Is it a pill?
Oh, no, you're talking about the one that made you all touchy-feely good.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about ecstasy.
Ecstasy. Yeah.
Ecstasy. That's right. Ecstasy. This chick, that's what chicks would go on ecstasy. I met a lot of women who took ecstasy when I lived in L.A., and they would get like super horny. And I didn't give it to them. They would take it for themselves, and then they would want to sleep with everybody in the room. Some women, they got so horned up that they would want to sleep with anybody.
And Is there a problem with that?
I don't have a problem with that. But this woman was on prescription drugs and then alcohol.
Remember this, right? Speaking about dance parties, this was my speed. This is when I was going to the clubs. This is when I was bartending on Delaware Ave.
Were you doing ecstasy?
No.
See, I don't know this song.
You'll hear it. This is like Egypt.
Club Egypt on the Delaware.
And the 8th floor.
8th floor.
Maui.
Baja. Does this get better?
Yeah. No. It's when the glow sticks were in full effect, bro.
Oh my God, these songs where it's like just 2 sentences over and over and over and over again are so awful.
Yeah, I hear that in the club, man. I'm like, yeah, hey.
What do you get cracking on? Like, what's your big thing? Like, what would set you off on a dance floor?
Nothing. I like to, when I'm in a good club and the music's bouncing and back, like when I go to a really great club, the music never stops, and it's like, and the DJs are so good that it's just constant. The beats are perfect. Everything is just one continuous show.
Now, Tony used to be quite the dancer, and he had the little Cuban heels supposedly, and he would, he danced at the Aqua.
That's the ZZ Top. That was a different era.
I know.
You used to dance at the Aquarama, right?
Aquarama on Broad Street, which is now a CVS. There used to be an aquarium on Broad Street across from Veterans Stadium called Aquarama, and it wasn't even it was before
Not
Veterans.
Aquapana.
Not Aquapana.
Which is
my
about $11.
favorite.
That's
my
the best.
favorite crystal water.
But
Crystal
Aquarama.
clear.
So and Tony actually had Cuban heels, and he would dance supposedly. I do not
like
know.
Tony
this.
Montana.
Actually,
Now-
this is Tony's theme song when he used to walk in with those Cuban heels.
That was a hot step.
That's
That was
Tony.
a hot step.
But now he doesn't dance very much anymore. I would love for him to dance more often, but you know the one thing that will get him to dance no matter what?
Ecstasy?
Ecstasy?
No. It's the mummers music. He can't
Well, I have to be drunk to do that.
Well,
Jim,
would
that's
you
the only thing Jim Kenny and I have in common.
What, you're both drunk?
Well, we're both drunk.
On New Year's Day?
We do the mummer strut.
Tony,
I'm off on New Year's Day. I'm stopping by 2 Street on New Year's Day. I'm going down.
Go.
I'm going
Robin
down.
do it. Robin and I
It's
do
right
it
there.
all
It's
the
right
time.
down the goddamn street.
I know it is. You want to talk about fun, man. You go to 2 Street, not the day of. It's the day, the night of. After the parades are all over, you go down on 2nd Street. It is lit AF. Yeah.
Exactly what it's like, man.
It's fun. We got some friends who live right in that neighborhood. We went
Yep.
down. We took our scooter one year
Yep.
because we can't park anywhere. We just park on somebody's sidewalk and then just go down 2nd Street and get and hang on people's balconies. It's like New Orleans in Mardi Gras.
Right.
Except fucking cold.
Well, it's cold too, yeah.
Excuse my language.
Robin, have you been drinking tonight?
She has. Actually, the entire show, she was biatching about. She was just thirsty the entire time. But you know what?
What?
Like a spoiled little priss. She did not get up to get herself anything to drink. She complained about being thirsty, but never went and did anything about it.
It's ridiculous.
You sat there eating your entire meal going, I wish I had something to drink. I'm so thirsty. Maybe if I keep wishing, it'll just happen.
No, because I had a wonderful Sky Energy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Sky Energy Drink, one of our great sponsors.
You do
Eventually
not
did.
know what you were talking about.
I did know.
You know how many calories are in the Sky Energy? 120 calories.
That's it.
That's it.
And they have sugar-free, too.
And that's the one with sugar. So
This
that's
is the one with, this is not sugar-free.
That's
It's
the one-
120 calories.
That's
so that
amazing.
means if you were to buy this in Philadelphia, the soda tax would be
Crazy.
$2. But we have it here at Moonshine Philly. And Ed Louisa, the man who hooked us up with Sky Energy, he said, taste this. You have never, and I'm not a big energy drink. I told you, when I went to a Red Bull initiation event at Staples Center in L.A., they were handing out Red Bulls for promotion. Nobody knew what it was. It was the first time it was being introduced to the media. And I tasted it, and I said, damn, this shit's never going to work. And now Red Bull, of course, is the biggest company on earth as far as energy drinks.
Because people were looking for some kind of a liquid energy type drink.
And it wasn't that I didn't like it.
They
It was just that I didn't, the aftertaste, and people then were pouring it with drinks, and I never got it. I understood. I did commercials for 5 Hour Energy, so I understand the whole energy drink thing, but I never really liked the taste and the aftertaste.
Well,
so then Ed said, when he came to us, and he said, I want you to try this Sky Energy. It started in Europe, and it's huge in Europe. And here in the United States, it's less expensive, And the best part is it doesn't have all the taurine and all of the caffeine that most energy drinks have. And
Which are the things that cause you to have jitters and
exactly,
heart
and that's what people
attacks
do. They drink too many of these things in one day. Kids are playing, video game Fortnite for a couple of weeks and they don't sleep, and they rely on energy drinks to keep them going. This has B vitamins, so you pee it out. Even if you're not a wedding photographer in Dallas and have to go badly and pee into a fountain, into a tree after you have sex with somebody at a wedding, that won't happen with Sky Energy. Because it's B vitamins in here.
You can't overdose on it.
And you know what the best part is? The taste. And one thing that Ed said to us, and he's absolutely right, and everybody who's tried it agrees. 95% of the people who taste it say, you know what? That really tastes good, and there's no aftertaste. So if you want an energy drink, it's great. Sky Energy. Go to at usskyEnergyedrinks.com. Oh, no, what's the website?
I'll post it. I'll post
Post
it
the website.
Yeah, it's actually it's on the TonyBrunoShow.com. The link, go to TonyBrunoShow.com. From there, you can just click on the Sky Energy can, and it'll take you directly to the website.
It's really good stuff, and I drink it all the time. The other day, I got up at 6 o'clock. We had to clean the whole house, the basement. I mean, our house was a disaster, Luigi. You saw it. Luigi came home and couldn't believe
we
the
had
basement
building
was
material
spotless.
everywhere.
We were scrubbing, cleaning up.
I didn't know where I was. I didn't know where I had to do a double take. It was insane, man.
And I was shot, and we're making turkeys, and we're making hams, and
Wham.
We're making all this food, and then we still had energy later in the day.
And it was because now here's the biggest thing. When we were doing the night show, and you used to get cases of Red Bull and 5 Hour Energy sent because you were doing the commercials, we never got rid of them. They were, and like a year later, we still have all these cases. We would give them away to people because Sky Energy actually disappears out of our house.
Yeah. Our good buddy Joe Quillen there, I gave him a case of it a couple weeks. Have you had it, Joe? He loves it, man. Joe, we gave him a case to take home with him.
Now, Charlie Alexander says, I needed some Sky last night. I was dragging. And Michael A. Purichia is saying he's buying some right now.
Yeah, you can get them in stores in the Philadelphia area. They're available now. And I'm telling you, folks, they have the sugar-free. They have the glow-in-the-dark.
They have another one coming out that is going to be a slightly different recipe that has absolutely no taurine or caffeine.
Right. This has some, but mostly
free.
B vitamins. It's going to
Right.
be non-caffeine and non-taurine.
And it is going to be the new one coming out is going to be safe for children under the age of 12 as well.
Right, because you don't want kids drinking all that super caffeinated,
even,
taurined up stuff like Four Loko and those things. Those things were dangerous, and they had to change their formulas because they were so dangerous. Luigi was a Four Loko guy.
No.
Back in the day?
No, I was never a Four Loko guy, man.
Jack, were you a Four Loko guy? How about Purple Drank? Did you ever do that, Jolly Roger?
I was back in the day with pure ephedra, my brother.
Would you ever do like a?
That's when pre-workouts were pre-workouts, my man. When they had.
Did you ever
pure
do
ephedra.
the scissor? Did you ever sip on some
No,
scissor, man?
No, I never got any scissor. No.
Come on, man.
Who does that? Who has
Well, Jamarcus Russell, he's got plenty of time now.
By the way, we would like to thank the New York Knickerbockers for coming to Philadelphia
and getting boat raced
and taking a biblical holiday beatdown.
The number was 12.
Sixers up with a minute left, 114-84. How many points is that?
It's 30 points even.
That would be 30 points.
29 now.
29 if you're scoring at home. I think the Sixers were only favored by like
12.
12.
It was 12. Seriously,
so
I'm
this
not
was
just making
easy.
that up. Yeah, they just made a free throw.
As I suggested you before this game started, the Knicks stink on ice.
They do.
I believe that will be a new show coming to Madison Square Garden after the new year. After Smurfs on ice and Disney on ice,
Knicks stink
it will be the Knicks on ice where they stink.
Yeah.
And so there won't be any odor in Madison Square Garden when they appear.
Starring Allen Houston. There you go. You'll remember former stars.
Allen Houston was pretty good for a while.
Michael Sweetney. You're going to remember former stars like that.
No, my favorite Knicks moments were when, who was it, the center that tried to kept missing bunnies and trying to put back.
Who was
back
that?
in the Patrick Ewing days. They
I
had a
don't know who that
backup
was.
guy, power forward, who missed like 5 bunnies in a row in a playoff game near the end of the game. Who was it?
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't
Oakland.
Charles Oakley. It's Charles somebody. Who was it? Now it's going to bug me.
Charles Shackelford? No.
No, it wasn't. No, he did that here in Philly.
That's what I mean.
And then Charles Barkley ridiculed him and told him he stunk, which he did. Meanwhile, did we miss anything tonight?
I think we got everything. We hit everything.
Oh, by the way, one last thing, though. I got to
What do
get
you got, bro?
the most popular baby names are out for 2018.
No.
Yes.
Already?
Well, it's near the end
I
of the year.
can't wait to hear this crap.
I
Go
never
for
would
it.
have guessed these names.
And I said, Robin, you know what the number one most popular baby name for females? And here's the thing. It's been the most popular female baby name for 9 straight years.
Wow.
And I said, so what's the most popular baby name for females for the last 9 straight years? You know what it is, Luigi? Guess.
Marie.
No.
Cynthia.
So are you kidding?
I went off
Why?
How about Gertrude? Yeah.
No, seriously. How about Lisa?
Somebody say
No.
Propecia?
There's
It's
always something. Sophia?
Sophia.
Because I like Sophie. Sophie's cute.
Sophia
I had a
is the
dog
most
named Sophie.
popular for 9 years in a row.
If I ever had a daughter, I was going to name her Lucy. I love that name.
Lucy?
Yeah, Lucy. It's
now,
just sweet
it's
and cute.
interesting
Love
because
Lucy.
Sophia is an old school
See,
name. Like,
I love Lucy. You get it?
Right, yeah, I get it. Sophia is an old school name. Sophia Loren, remember?
Yeah.
Like my mom's
Sophia
name
Vergara.
is Angelina. Angelina is an old school Italian name.
The waitress at the pizzeria.
Exactly. And then you had Angelina Jolie. So Angelina became popular again, but it was considered an old person's name. So was Sophia. But now Sophia's hip. You know what the top 3 female names are on
The
the board?
suspense is killing me, Tony.
Yeah, really.
Seriously, what is it?
Sophia's number 1. Guess what number 2 is?
We had
Olivia.
a horrible time with number.
Olivia.
Olivia. See, now that jumped the shark a little bit too.
No, my niece's name is Olivia.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's a lot of people are getting.
Yeah, because they're popular names. That's what makes them popular.
I don't like it.
That's how that works.
And then Emma's number 3.
I like Emma.
Emma, so it's Sophia, Olivia, and Emma.
All these older names coming back in.
Yeah, it's the whole retro
And the
thing,
3
man.
top male names?
I guarantee you, Luigi's nowhere near
Orlando.
No. The old school names like Anthony, John, Joseph, those names.
Jaker.
Are we
Smith.
done with the whole like Chase and Hunter shit? Like, are we done with that?
Not in the top 3. Number 1 answer on the board. Anybody want to guess?
Hank.
No. What? Jackson.
It's my godson's name, spelled with an X.
Jackson. Jackson's number 1.
All right. Number 2.
Jackson Brown is the only Jackson I knew, remember?
Jackson Galaxy.
Jackson Pollock.
Jackson Pollock. Jackson now, guess who's number 2?
Go for it.
Liam. It's all those stinking...
Liam Neeson movies.
Yeah, all those... He does one every week.
You could have named something else because the name was already taken.
Oh! God, you are full of them tonight.
And then number 3 on the board, popular male names, Noah.
Wow, now that's old
Noah.
school. Taking it back to biblical days.
Well, I guess
I believe
they
all
rolled
these...
the Notebook back out then, I guess,
all
right?
these young men are destined to become sea captains. There's no doubt about
that's
it.
what it is.
They'll be, as soon as they're able to work, they'll be able to build a big ark.
Need an ark.
Put all those damn animals on there and take it the hell out in the next storm when global warming really destroys the entire Earth.
Need an ark? I know a guy.
Damn right. So there you have it, ladies and
Luigi,
gentlemen.
you're done. You're done for the night.
No, that was an homage to Joe Corrado because he would have dropped that one.
Yes, he would.
Speaking of dropping them,
We got to drop
this
course,
program.
We want to thank everybody watching us on the video stream.
Yes.
Correct.
Because not only can you hear Tony Bruno Show live on all your favorite sources, and you just go to TonyBrunoShow.com and it'll link you to
everything.
Joe
Joe Jenkins proved you can watch it.
So if you're watching it,
And
you
then
can see it where?
cast it onto your big screen TV and see our big faces right up there. But if you want to interact with us, there are a few ways to do that. Facebook Live, Periscope TV. You can see those and interact with us. We try to keep up with your messages as you can see.
And then YouTube, of
And then
course.
you can also see us live on YouTube and on Twitch.
And so when people are watching us live while we do these shows every Wednesday night from 7 to 9 Eastern, it's coming to you with, how many cameras are we using tonight, Robin?
3.
We're doing a 3 or 4 camera shoot.
No, tonight we have a 3-camera shoot.
3 cameras. We could have had 4, but one of our $12 cameras crapped out.
The POV cam went down last weekend.
POV. We'll be doing that later tonight after we get home. The POV camera will be up.
That will be on Red, too.
When we do the, what's the TV show where they do like a post-game show and it's like, it's one of those stupid reality shows, not Survivor.
Big Brother After Dark?
Big Brother After Dark.
Right. Last
We
thing
will
you want
have
to see
the
is a
Tony
Big
Bruno
Brother After
show.
Dark, I'll tell you that right now.
We will see the Tony Bruno Show After Dark later on tonight after midnight.
You're going to start seeing Luigi After Dark soon because I got the green light, man. We're starting to film the week of the 17th, my brother.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Are we talking about repo
That's
action?
right, man. That's right.
Luigi Curto, ladies and gentlemen, back in the
reality
repo
TiVo
business
star. That's
with
right.
the great Ken Cage, the legendary high-asset repossession man. He's not just a TV star. This guy does it for a living. The great Ken Cage.
Damn straight.
He repos all that shit that you people don't pay for. And I love when I see people who are super rich,
awesome.
who don't pay their damn bills and get their shit taken away from them. That's the way America's supposed to work.
It is supposed to work that way.
It's exactly the way it's supposed to work. Exactly the way Thomas Jefferson, everybody sat down and went, look, this is the way it's supposed to happen.
You want that damn set?
You go ahead and get it.
You want that 75-foot yacht?
You better damn be able to afford it.
Make the
Buster.
damn payment, sucker.
Damn
But
it.
anyway, watching the live stream, as many people do, Switchboard Live is bringing it to you. We get all these cameras. Miss Robin mixes it. Boom! It all goes into one stream to Switchboard Live. And then the great people at Switchboard Live send it out everywhere. Even to Mars, where they just landed a new lunar Mars lander. Even they're watching the podcast tonight live.
This is worldwide. We have people
On the
tuning
red
in
planet.
in Australia. We have people down under.
Yes.
We have people in Asia. We have people in Europe. They're all able to watch it.
No matter where you
thanks
are in
to
the
Switchboard.
world.
Yep.
You could have been anywhere else tonight. But you're here with us, as the great Jay-Z once said. And we appreciate it. Right. Switchboard Live. You can do it too, whatever your sources are, whatever you want to do to live stream something with a video stream. Go to Switchboard Live on Facebook and Twitter, or Switchboard.live. Is that not what it is, Robin?
Switchboard.live.
It's
Yes,
Switchboard. The
Switchboard.live.
website is www.switchboard.live.
Correct.
Or you can follow them on Facebook and Twitter at Switchboard Live.
We had a group of people come in here to see my program a couple of weeks ago.
Is that Funk and Fantasy, that one you're talking
Yeah,
about?
that shit show. They came. They were coming in here. Obviously, they were fans of yours, but they were also and they were following everything on Twitter.
They came the wrong night. Is that what you're saying?
No, they came the right. They came the right now. They came the right night when they knew absolutely no one was going to be there. No, but they came in, and again, they're starting to do some podcasting work, and they're also doing a lot of video stuff. And I sent them to Switchboard.live and tried to tell them exactly what we always do, is that we have all these different entities, and all we do is just load it up on a switchboard and boom, boom, one
and you
shot.
You don't even need fancy equipment. I mean, we have 3 cameras here. You can do it with just one camera. You can even do a stream from your phone.
You can do a POV from your house.
It's
just sit
amazing.
there by yourself and
Anything
send it
that
out.
you want to do, and it doesn't have to be professional. We certainly aren't professional.
But the good thing is that
professional.
But I mean, it's so it allows you to do something. It's like they make everything bigger
because
you can Correct.
If you want to send video streams to unlimited sources, you can't get that kind of data available to you,
Nope.
even in a commercial application at home.
Correct.
There's no way you can stream to as many sources as we do
And have
without
it
a
not
company
crap
like
out.
Switchboard Live. What's that?
And have it not crap out on you.
Oh,
Exactly.
it's impossible.
Of all the things that crap out, the one thing that never does is our video stream, because it's Switchboard Live. They are phenomenal. And they're based here in Philly. More great stuff.
We crap out, but Switchboard keeps on
I
rolling.
crap out very early.
I've crapped out 20 minutes ago. That first hour was the longest hour in radio. I don't know how the hell we got through it. For some reason, it just seemed like it
What
went
are you
forever.
talking about? We covered so much stuff tonight, man.
What I'm saying is, no. What I mean is that normally time flies by on the pro. Like seriously, we blink and almost 3 hours go by. And tonight we're already 20 minutes in overtime. It just seemed for some reason that first hour, it's just like we had so many things going on that I looked down and was like, it's only like 7:52.
You're looking at the
we
clock?
talked so much stuff. No, I just peeked down just to see
looking
where
at the clock like a worker who sits around in the cash register in a store and
what
bitches about what time they get off while
no,
you're trying to check out at a supermarket.
What do you think
and
I
the 2 people at the cashier's counter are bitching about when their break is and they only have 2 more hours to work.
Would
you
rather,
one of those guys?
Would you rather me be that or J.R. Smith and look up at the clock in the finals and realizing that you need to freaking call? You need to go shoot the damn basketball.
Jesus
is right.
In the meantime, ladies and gentlemen,
I'll take us out with a little Jamiroquai. How about that, man?
But if you go to last thing, the last part. If you go to Switchboard Live, make sure if you sign up, use the code word Bruno, you will get a discount.
Absolutely. That's the way we work here. Give me a little Jamiroquai.
People helping people.
Yes, exactly.
It's all
right.
about.
That's
Tony.
why we're here.
'Tis the season.
Ho ho ho, ho.
Where they at, yo?
Especially if you're a wedding photographer.
I hear that, brother.
And you're banging party goers. Why can't I ever go to weddings like that?
I get invited to shit weddings all the time.
Tony, I think you have been to weddings like that, except you were the equivalent of the photographer.
Yeah. You got to work the room. You know what I mean? When
I hear you,
got to
brother.
work it. You got to work the room. You got to. No, I goes. Got to. We want to thank everybody.
What the hell was that? What was that noise that you just made that came out of your mouth?
We got to thank Jack O'Donnell. He's got his Flyers hat on tonight. Next week it'll be a Gritty hat. The Flyers will be changing their logo to actually Gritty's face. They will be getting rid of the Flyers logo, the P with the whatever they call it.
They might as well put him out there as a winger or something, man. He needs something.
Exactly. He could be the GM.
I could probably do better than them.
No, by the way, speaking of GM searches,
I know they need a goalie, so that would be my first thing.
This one of the. I got to get this in before we go.
That's what she said.
It's one of the stories. The Flyers looking for a new GM.
Ba-dum-bum.
Thank you. Luigi's been lit tonight.
That's what happens, man. Sky Energy, brother.
But one of the great hockey minds, because there's a lot of rumors about who the Flyers' new GM is. But one of the great minds in Canada tonight reporting on the Hockey Network.
Oh, you are never going to find it. If
I
you're
know
trying
that's
to
a problem with Twitter. You can't find it. You
Twitter.
can't save it. Who did I say is one of the New Jersey
Devils.
The Jersey Devils assistant GM is apparently his name is in the hopper right now. And you know when we like the names in the hopper, Luigi.
I do love the names in the hopper.
So the assistant general manager of the New Jersey Devils, who own the 76ers in the same ownership group, is apparently in the running. No, it's not Tom Fitzgerald. That's not the name. It's not Tom Fitzgerald. And I don't want to mess it up.
Nobody cares.
Well, they do care because it's breaking news. Well, at least it's a legitimate source reporting on a potential
Why don't
Flyers.
you go to the legitimate sources page?
I don't know the legitimate sources page. If I knew the legitimate sources page,
what was it?
I'm stalling.
Chuck Fletcher.
Chuck Fletcher, thank
Meanwhile.
you, Jack. Chuck Fletcher, the assistant general manager of the New Jersey Devils, is apparently the front runner to be the new GM of the Philadelphia Flyers. And we told you the other big story in the NBA. Kyle Korver is not coming back to the Sixers to shoot the three ball. He has been traded from the Cleveland Cavaliers
to the Utah Jazz.
To the Utah Jazz
for Alec Burke and 2 second-round picks.
Not Billy Burke.
No.
Not Delta Burke.
Not Trey Burke.
Not Trey Burke. Not
Charles
Charles Burke.
That's right. That was a good one, too.
Alec Burke. Alec with a C, not with a K.
Correct.
So there you have it. We want to thank everybody for listening tonight, checking in. Don't forget to tell your friends, share on Facebook, and like us on Twitter at Tony Bruno Show, at Luigi Curto, CURTO 22, at Miss Robin Austin, and Jack, what's your Twitter? He's abandoned Twitter.
I thought it was at Jack in the Back.
It was. Go to Jack in the Box and get a double-double and just tell him you know Jack.
Oh, what's in the box?
Jack's in the box. And our buddy,
and we're in the bag.
And our buddy Joe Quillen back there. One of the most loyal supporters out there.
Damn right.
Thank you, Joe. He's got a Penn shirt on tonight. You an Ivy League guy? He just got a free T-shirt one night. They were throwing him out at the rafters at the Palestra.
They're going to be throwing us out of Moonshine if we can get the hell out of here.
Let's get the hell out of here. We'll see you next week. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. And don't sleep with people at weddings. Unless it's the bridesmaid, because she probably wants it really, really bad. Good night, everybody.